सत्येष्वि नास्वरात् सत्येष्वि नास्वरात् तेने ब्रह्महृदयादि कवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरयः तेजो वरिमृदं यथा विनिमयो यात्रा विसर्गो मुषा धाम्ना स्वेन सादा निरस्ता वकं सत्यं परमं धीमहि
Not there? Okay. Send by WhatsApp. You are linking to the net? It's not connected. Janmadiyas Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadiyasya Itaratas Charteshu Abhignasvara. Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kaviye Muhyanti Yata Suryaha. Like that you have to chant. Wow. You are coming in, no? Isn't it? Yes. So this is their problem, not our problem. You pressed on the YouTube link, huh? That also I sent if somebody is not able to join. Otherwise, normal joining you try. Is it any difficulty? Yeah, chalo. ठीक है, let us focus there. ठीक है. तेजो वारी मृदम यथा विनिमयो यत्र सर्गो अमृषा. धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परम धीमहि. Yeah, let it be there. Just for satisfaction, somebody has joined. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadiyasya yato anvayad taratas charteshu abhignasvara. Abba. Janmadiyasya yato anvayad taratas charteshu abhignasvara. Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kaviye Muhyanti Yata Suryaha. Tejo Vari Mridam Yatha Vinimyo Yatarati Sargo Amrisha. Dhamna Sayana Sada Nirastakukam Satyam Param Dhimahi. Rajesh, you can hear us?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Speak the first verse properly. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadiyasya yato anvayad taratas charteshu abhignasvara. Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kaviye Muhyanti Yata Suryaha. Tejo Vari Mritam Yatha Vinimyo Yatarati Sargo Amrisha. Dhamna Swena Sada Niraskuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. So by next time everybody will be able to chant like this. You tell us anybody what you are doing. I learn Bhagavatam. What do you learn? Just tell this verse. This verse has the meaning of all the 18,000 verses. It should be contested. Okay? Another thing I wanted everybody, Shishtashtika should be. No, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 8 verses. Cheto Darpana Marjana Mahamadava Agnirvap. That is in English. Look for the Sanskrit of that. You will get. You will get. Okay? Shishtashtika you type in your mobile. Sanskrit you will see. Okay. Rajesh, you know Shishtashtika?
No, Prabhu, I wouldn't be able to, basically chant it.
चेतोदार्पणमार्जनं भवमादावाग्निर्वापनं शय्याकैरव चंद्रिका वितरणं विद्यावत जीवनम. The assignment, homework. ठीक है?
Yes, Prabhu.
Note down this is the homework to remember Shishtastaka. ठीक है? I request everybody remember Shishtastaka. That will be very nice. Okay. Now, actually today my internet is gone, Rajesh. Therefore, took some time, but Rajesh is there. Badrinath.
Yes.
ठीक है. So welcome. So the next verse. So this verse, Shishtastaka, please climb. And this verse you should be able to chant without looking. Can you do that? First verse. ठीक है. By next time. ठीक है.
Yes, Prabhu.
Please, everybody, first 3 verses, कंठस्थ. बोलेंगे अब क्या कर रहे हो आप लोग? 3 घंटा हो रहा है. कुछ वर्स बताओ. नहीं मालूम. ठीक है. And the second verse, we did the explanation of this. We will not go to that today. ठीक है. After a complete chapter, once we will revise, not now. ठीक है. Main points. I made a PowerPoint. I'll revise the whole chapter. But I'm waiting. We are not able to finish. We are going very slowly. Okay. The second verse. धर्म प्रोचित कैतवतरा परमो निर्मसराराम सता. धर्म प्रोचित कैतवतरा परमो निर्मसराराम सता. धर्मः प्रोजिता कैतवो. धर्मः प्रोजित कैतवो. अत्र परमो निर्मसराणां सताम्. अत्र परमो निर्मसराणां सताम्. धर्म प्रोचित कैतवत्र परमो निर्मसराणां सताम्. वेद्यं वास्तवम् अत्र. वेद्यं वास्तवम् अत्र. वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयो उन्मूलनम्. वेद्यं वास्तवम् अत्र सुशिवदं तापत्रयो उन्मूलनम्. वेद्यं वास्तवम् अत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयो उन्मूलनम्. You can mentally read it. Prepare yourself. First 2 lines now. Mentally read. कोई बोलो. देख के बोल दो. You know, there was a teacher he used to say exam time, bring the books. Oh, wow. He used to not get 10 marks out of 100 in it. Bring the books. Challenge. Itna books leke jata tha. Can't solve it. And one teacher on top, take to the hostel. Nobody there in the hostel can solve the paper. So like that. देख के बोल दो. धर्म प्रोजित कैतवत्र परमो निर्मसराणां सताम्. वेद्यवासमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रोन्मूलनम्. श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनि कृते किं वा परे ईश्वरः. सद्यो हृदि अवरुध्यते यत्र कृतिभिः तर्शना. शुभिः तर्शना. सद्यो हृदि अवरुध्यते अत्र कृतिभिः शुभिः तर्शना. ठीक है. You can see that. Okay, you are on that. You haven't. Okay. Oh, you needed a book. Okay, no problem. You are able to see. Hare Krishna, Radhe.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
You have two incarnations here. Huh? Okay.
No, no.
One incarnation is. ठीक है. You can chant the shloka, second shloka, without seeing.
Prabhu, no.
With seeing properly.
With seeing, I can probably try, Prabhu.
Try. Let us see.
Dharma projita kaitavo tra paramo nirmatsaranam satam.
No, this is not good. Dharma projita kaitavatra paramo nirmasaranam satam.
Dharma projita.
Chalo, everybody do contest. I think unless you cram, you can't even repeat this. It goes very fast, no? You have to cram. Word meaning, you see. So, Vedamastara Vasta Shivadam Tapatrun Molanam. Shrimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Kate Kimva Pare Ishvaraha. Satyo Hridi Avaruddhate Atarkiti Bishashri Kana. ठीक है, okay, दो श्लोक हो गया. Hopefully, you have to sit and you have to actually see. First, practice chanting, then read the word meaning, understand. Very, very beautiful shlokas. Okay, now the Bhagavatam invocation, just like when you have invocation. Mostly schools में क्या करते हैं? Om Shanti Shanti. This invocation is in the 3 verses. First verse we did, second we did, third one. Okay, today we start with the third and we will finish till 23rd. That was the desire, but we are going. See, we are already 11 o'clock. क्या करेंगे हम लोग? हाँ. Okay. निगम कल्पतरोर गलितम फलम अमृत द्रव्य संयुतम पीबत भागवतम रसमालयम बहु अहो रसिका भुवि भाव कहा निगम कल्पतरोर गलितम फलम शुकमुखाद अमृत द्रव्य संयुतम पीबत भागवतम रसमालयम बहु अहो रसिका भुवि भाव कहा. Anybody can chant that?
Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam.
Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam.
Sukhamukad amrita drava samyutam.
Sukhamukad amrita drava samyutam.
Pibata bhagavatam rasam alayam.
Pibata bhagavatam rasam alayam.
Muhur aho rasika bhuvi bhavuka.
Okay. So now let us understand this verse. The main line is here. Piba the Bhagavata Rasamalayam. Keep drinking the Bhagavata Rasa. Okay. Now let us understand this verse. O expert and thoughtful men, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desired tree of the Vedic literature. It emanated from the lips of Sri Shukadeva Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although the nectarian juice is already relishable for all, including liberated souls. Who will go to read it? Mataji, you like to read the purport? Actually, she was going to read and explain, no? Okay.
In the 2 previous shlokas, it has been definitely proved that the Srimad Bhagavatam is the sublime literature which surpasses all other Vedic scriptures due to its transcendental qualities. It is transcendental to all mundane activities and mundane knowledge. In this shloka, it is stated that Srimad Bhagavatam is not only a superior literature, but it is the ripened fruit of all Vedic literatures. In other words, it is the cream of all ripened fruit. It is the cream of all Vedic knowledge. Considering all this, patient and submissive hearing is definitely essential. With great respect and attention, one should receive the message and lessons imparted by the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay, this much is clear for everybody. Vedas are actually the next book will explain. Anyway, ripened fruit is there. Why it is ripened fruit coming in the next paragraph that will come. So what we should do? This is the greatest Vedic literature Bhagavatam. People should hear with great respect and attention. So next one, Mother.
The Vedas are compared to the desire tree because they contain all things knowable by man. They deal with mundane necessities as well as spiritual realization. The Vedas contain regulated principles of knowledge covering social, political, religious, economic, military, medicinal, chemical, physical, and metaphysical subject matter, and all that may be necessary to keep the body and soul together. Above and beyond all this are specific directions for spiritual realization. Regulated knowledge involves a gradual raising of the living entity to the spiritual platform, and the highest spiritual realization is knowledge that the personality of Godhead is the survivor of all spiritual taste or rasas. Reservoirs of all spiritual tastes.
This is actually 180 degrees as it can take. So I have to put it like this, but I'm selfish. Okay, now, compared to the desire tree, how do you explain, Mataji? You can try to explain this paragraph. What is the main point? It contains all things.
Noble.
Kalpaka, therefore this is the yeah. Hare Krishna. Rajesh, his audio is clear?
Very clear, Prabhu.
Could hear Mataji also very clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay, now that's very nice. Okay, so it contains all things knowable, therefore it is Kalpaturu. Kalpaturu means whatever you want you can get. And in the tree, what is the most important part in the tree? The fruit. Fruit. A ripened fruit. And the necessary to keep. And then the Lord is the reservoir of all this. Akhila Rasa Amrita Sindhu. That is another word for Krishna. Akhila Rasa Amrita Sindhu. The personification of all the rasas. It nicely explained. As you proceed, Mataji, it will very nicely explain. Proceed. Till now it's okay. There are so many kinds of knowledge in the Vedas. That is, because it's political, religious, economic. But this is the most important knowledge. Bhagavatam is the most sweetest. We cannot continue. Why it is so, it will explain. So let me not tell you. Yeah.
Every living entity, beginning from Brahma, the firstborn living being within the material world, down to the insignificant ant, desires to relish some sort of taste derived from the sense perceptions. These sensual pleasures are technically called rasas. Such rasas are of different varieties. In the revealed scriptures, the following 12 varieties of rasas are enumerated: Rudra, that is anger; Adbhuta, wonder; Shringara, conjugal love; Hasya, comedy; Veera, chivalry; Daya, mercy; Dasya, servitorship; Sakhya, fraternity; Bhayanaka, horror; Bhibhatsya, shock; Shanta, neutrality; and Vatsalya, parenthood.
Good question.
Why do is an insignificant ant? Because in its own world, ant itself is in its entirety, that's important to itself, right? Why do we say it's like if someone superior comes to us, they may say we are all inferior to them. And they make pressures.
Because
It's the
Brahma has
smallest
been
part.
mentioned.
That is
Huh?
It's the
Brahma has
smallest.
been mentioned. So like it is not the smallest thing, but just for
Smallest.
comparison's sake, it's been given. Not that it will say in sense. All possible
That
spectrum.
Vedas contain regulative principles. Okay, there's every living entity, beginning of Brahma and down to the, yeah, it is not in the sense of deriving, definitely. The sense of the size. There is a shloka which says this actually. See, most of the time when Srila Prabhupada is writing, he is just translating the shloka. So shloka, that said the qualification of Guru is that Shabde Parecha Nishnatam Brahmani Upashama. Shabde Parecha Nishnatam. His mind is fixed on the Shastras. His words coming out is actually translation of the verses from any time. There is a shloka which says that right from the smallest living entity and top to the topmost living entity, all are within the grips of karma in Brahma Samhita. You have to also crank Brahma Samhita. Yastru Indra Gopam Athavendra Ahosa Karma Bandhanu Rupa Phalabhada Namata Namoti. You can everybody. So he's saying that right from Brahma now to they all want to relish some taste. Some rasa, everybody is looking out for some taste. And what is the rasa? From sense perception. And these rasas are of different varieties. What is the rasa? Our taste. What are the tastes in relationships? Just like it's not only gross taste which we know of, this is subtle actually. You can say I'm living just for food, no. Or sometimes they sacrifice everything or rasa. Yesterday for power position, I don't think they've eaten for 2-3 days. Sacrifice everything. Technically, rasas are different varieties. Raudra, these are all, actually there are 12 varieties. Prabhupada will explain in the next. You're not read the next, no? Sum total you're not read. Now, I will not explain. We get some very nice purport. Everything is explained. So, Raudra is anger, but Prabhupada says actually the rasas, you see, the seventh one, Dasya, that is one primary relationship. Sakhya is also primary. Shanta, Vasalya, Madhurya. So, these are actually 5 primary relationships. But what happens is that actually we join. There are 7 secondary which actually cover the primary relationship. Okay? Third, this is also I've done this. Third is also. These are the 5 primary. Third one is Shingara is a primary, Dasya is a primary, Sakhya is a primary, Shanta and Vasalya. Primary means these are permanent relationships. But sometimes these 5 get covered by secondary relationship. Now in this world, we are enjoying these relationships in a reflection. We're not getting, just like I say, I have a father. I'm enjoying the relationship. But actually it is the reflection of the real relationship. I remember now, when I will be at home, ghar jana hai, ghar jana hai, ghar jana hai, ghar jana hai. 6 months we go once in a semester, we go home. Ghar mein pahunche. उसके बाद 5 मिनट में हो गया वो वात्सल्य रस खत्म. Then we are with that time there were no computers, with our friends going out meeting. हो गया वात्सल्य रस. If real वात्सल्य रस, Krishna and Yashoda doesn't get over. Like Radharani and the Gopis, the dancing with Krishna. They say, can it continue a little more this dance? Krishna said, okay, I'll stop time now. They danced for 1 night of Brahma. The Ras Leela and Krishna Leela. We can't even believe this because this is not on material dimension. But Krishna can do anything. He stopped the time. The Ras Leela went for night of Brahma. 4 billion years. Can't even conceive what is happening. True? Can you say Krishna can't do? Why he can't do? He can do anything. Eternally in the spiritual world, it is going on, which is beyond the material time and space. So why can't he bring that thing down? He exhibited, and they were, but still they were not satisfied. And then after that, billions of years of Ras Leela, said, now you can go home. No, we don't want to go. Go! Then they went home. Just imagine. So, but in material world, friendship, mera dost hai, tamasha we do. Simply tamasha we do. When friend comes, 5 minutes over. Go. It's all stale. True? But spiritual relationships are very nice. And also now, just like we're discussing Bhagavatam, our relationships will also become spiritual. It's not material, no sentiment, it's spiritual, but relishing. Aho bhuvi rasika bhuvi bhavu kaha. We are relishing the rasa of Bhagavatam together. Just like what happens sometimes when you are seeing a nice movie, don't you think? Somebody, your friends, we enjoyed the movie together. We go to eat, we'll eat together, we'll enjoy it together. We're enjoying Bhagavatam together. That will be the bond is, in fact, it'll be eternal bond. Even in the spiritual world, we will remember, very nice, it used to be Bhagavatam. It is eternal. Material relationships are temporary, they break. Next life, you don't know who's your father, who's your son, this relationship break. We're not saying don't take care. Duty, we have to take care of the duty. But it cannot compare to relationship to Krishna. Krishna, see what happens, a material relationship may remain where they are. A spiritual relationship goes bigger, bigger, bigger. Our attachment to Krishna grows. When attached to Krishna, definitely you feel affection for all his devotees. So the relationship goes up. Okay, so now there are 7 relationships, which are 5 are primary, 7 are secondary. Sometimes the secondary for temporary time cover the primary. Just like Arjuna relation is Sakhya. But when Krishna showed the Vishwarupa, that Adbhuta, wonder, you saw the second one, that covered it. Oh! And then he said, Krishna, I remove this because Sakhya is more sweeter. Adbhuta is like for some time. So he removed. Correct? Sometime maybe Bhayanaka for some time. So, okay, now explaining how the 7 secondary, sometime for temporary time, cover the primary. But primary is permanent. Yeah. Just like Bhishma, actually, I can understand relation with Dasya to Narayana. But chivalry is one, sometimes it covers his relationship. Therefore, he was enjoying fighting with Krishna, throwing arrows at Krishna. But actually, the Dasya of the Lord. Therefore, when he was leaving the world, Krishna appeared in Narayana form in front of him. We read in the 8th chapter, but the speed we are going to next year will come. He was Narayana form, he stood in front of Krishna. You know, Shankar Chakra Gadadhar in front of Bhishma. Because he's actually Narayana Dasa, Bhishma. He's a great devotee of the Lord. Okay, so temporarily covering 7 secondary, temporarily cover the 5 primary. For eternal relations, 1 5 ways. Each one of us has one of the relationships with the Lord. We don't know what it is today. We have forgotten Krishna. We have forgotten our service also to Krishna. 2 things we have forgotten. We have forgotten Krishna. We have also forgotten what is your service to him. We have forgotten totally we are in ignorance. So as we practice Krishna consciousness, that's called Sarupa Siddhi. One day you revive not only your particular taste, your relationship Sakhya or Dasya, Vasalya, maybe we are on leaf, spiritual world. Even insect in spiritual world, anything is wonderful. Chalo. Sum total
of all these rasas is called affection or love. Primarily, such signs of love are manifested in adoration, service, friendship, paternal affection, and conjugal love. And when these 5 are absent, love is present indirectly in anger, wonder, comedy, chivalry, fear, shock, and so on. For example, when a man is in love with a woman, the rasa is called conjugal love. But when such love affairs are disturbed, there may be wonder, anger, shock, or even horror. Sometimes love affairs between 2 persons culminate in ghastly murder scenes. Such rasas are displayed between man and between animal and animal. There is no possibility of an exchange or rasa between a man and an animal or between a man and any other species of living beings within the material world. The rasas are exchanged between members of the same species. But as far as the spirit souls are concerned, they are one qualitatively with the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the rasas were originally exchanged between the spiritual living being and the spiritual whole, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The spiritual exchange or rasa is fully exhibited in spiritual existence between living beings and the Supreme Lord.
Okay. Probably you start explaining what is got from. You can explain the first point, how it covers the relationship.
Basically, the reflection of our relationship with God. It may be exhibited in the form of father and his children, husband, wife.
See, like Madhurya Rasa is there, husband and wife. Madhurya Rasa, it's a reflection of the original Radha Krishna Rasa. Okay? But sometimes when there is a problem in the relationship, what happens? Anger, you see them fighting, always. And then there is sometimes it will lead to Bhyanaka. There is murder also. So it may lead. The secondary things, horror, shock, even horror can come. The secondary thing covers the original primary. Okay? It's very important. The rasas are exchanged between members of the same
Same
species because it is very difficult. The song will extend, but proper exchange doesn't occur. Say you're servant and a dog. Proper exchange occurs with a so you can talk, you can communicate. Different species definitely we are affectionate to some extent of dasya is there, but properly it cannot develop because of we can't understand their language and they cannot understand our language. Yes. And then rasas are originally explained. This is the point you got. Originally, these are with the Lord. See, the jiva is very nicely said. Jiva is, we find it as very small, but desire to love. Isn't it? I want to love it infinite. Isn't it? God is love. Yes, He's the only one who can actually receive the love. Other people, if you give your heart, they'll break it. We used to say, don't give your heart to anybody except Krishna. Give to anybody, he'll break it. If Krishna can actually handle your love, he can actually reciprocate, and he is a reservoir of love. And another person, suppose your friend is there, you try to develop your friendship. After some time, you say, yeah, please, Anna. You call him in the morning, did you get up? Did you have your breakfast? Chodo, yeah, don't get so much. But Krishna, you can supply unlimited. You can get totally independent. Like Mother Yashoda, totally she. If you have a samadhi on Krishna, Krishna can handle it. It was like, the famous example of Mahatma Gandhi. The people used to say, Mahatma Gandhi ki jai, Mahatma. He could not handle the rasa. It's a worship. But Krishna, millions of people are saying Krishna ki jai. He's very happy. He's not. Mahatma Gandhi was blocking his ears. He's getting headache. What do you say? In a stadium, you get up, people clap for some time. Abhilash will be very happy. But after some time, you cannot be able to handle it. You'll faint. Million people are sitting, you are standing there, everybody claps, you'll faint. Can't handle that. But Krishna is very much accepted. Just like Queen Kunti offers prayers, beautiful prayers of surrender. Krishna is good. He's able to, because he's naturally the Lord. When you try to do artificially, you can't do it properly because you're not supposed to do it. So when you artificially try to be the Lord, it just can't handle it. But Krishna is naturally the Lord. Correct? Millions of people go to Tirupati to take darshan of the Lord. He's enjoying. He's not feeling uneasy. And Krishna, please, totally out of surrender. Good for you. But it's natural. He is naturally the master. We are naturally the servant. So therefore, it is very natural. Okay. Welcome. Therefore, rasas are originally exchanged between spiritual being and spiritual host. That is the Tirupati laddus. Smell is also coming. Mangoes. Okay. Chalo. Hare Krishna. Rajesh, you like to read? You're around?
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is therefore described in the Shruti mantras, Vedic hymns, as the fountainhead of all rasas. When one associates with the Supreme Lord and exchanges one's constitutional rasa with the Lord, then the living being is actually happy.
So this word, wait. This word has come constitutional rasa. See, Prabhupada created certain rasas, words which did not exist in English. Constitutional rasa, that is, your original rasa with the Lord, we do not know. Now, that is called Sarupa Siddhi. When you are spiritually evolved, your original relation with the Lord is awakened. Okay? And even when you close your eyes, you're serving the Lord in that relationship. That becomes your. Just like you have one relationship with your children, correct? Your parent rasa, it is established. Always you're thinking also, you'll think of what to do, how to educate them. That rasa is coming or not. So similarly, your rasa with the Lord is awakened. That is spiritual, this is material. The reflection, imagine reflection is so strong. How will be the original? Reflection mein hi log maar dete. Just imagine how much strong the original will be there. When the gopis are running to meet Krishna at certain home, they were stopped. They left the body. They just left the body. Can't stop. It's unimaginably strong, the spiritual rasa. Presently, what we are experiencing is reflection. So imagine how, if a reflection is so strong, how beautiful will be the, and original spiritual rasa gives peace and happiness. Material rasa is satiating, finally. The fountainhead of all the rasas. Okay? Continue, Rajesh.
Yes, Prabhu. These Shruti mantras indicate that every living being has its constitutional position, which is endowed with a particular type of rasa to be exchanged with the personality of Godhead. In the liberated condition only, this primary rasa is experienced in full. In the material existence, the rasa is experienced in
perverted form, which is temporary. And
in
thus,
the
because,
yes, sorry.
got it?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes. In the perverted form, which is temporary, and thus the rasas of the material world are exhibited in the material form of Raudra, anger, and so on.
Continue. Okay, the material world, it is temporary. Is everybody is fine with it? Perverted, you don't get the real, just like a sun and the shadow of the sun in water. Is there any difference? Unlimited difference, correct? So the intensity or love with Krishna, just like those acharyas which actually love Krishna. Today morning we had a discussion on this, and that Bhakti Lata Bija, when the love of the Lord is awakened, that is called Bhakta. Taste is awakened in the heart to service to Krishna, that is called Bhakti Lata Bija. And there are 6 symptoms. You got the diamond in your heart. You know that? He has Samantika diamond. There is a discussion in Krishna book. There was a special jewel which used to give gold every day. And finally, a lot of tamasha happened because of that. This is like Bhakti Lata Bija is also like a diamond in your heart, shining now. When it comes to the heart, we discuss this in the morning. What happens? You always feel free from all anxiety, all auspiciousness. Everything looks auspicious, correct? Then you're so happy. So much transcendental happiness. Even moksha, you're not interested. And then, even if you have the diamond in your heart, even Krishna gets attracted. Oh, yeah, last one is very, very rare to get this diamond. So, Bhakti Lata Bija we should try. But what we are getting in this word is Karma Bija and Jnana Bija. Therefore, we should just to have a little interruption from the class, Rajesh. That the Karma Bija and Jnana Bija, that's what we get. Karma Bija means intense desire for sense gratification. And chief of that is sex desire. Just a desire for that. How will I? Hard karma I'll do, correct? And I will earn a lot of money. And what do I do with money? I don't want money. I want to enjoy this 6 rasas in a perverted way. And chief of that is Madhurya Rasa. Whole life is dreaming. That is Jnana Bija, when I'll speculate, I'll imagine, and I'll finally moksha, it ends in moksha. I'll become that. That's Jnana Bija. But Bhakti Lata Bija, I want to serve Krishna. That taste of service to Krishna. It's not a sentiment, that the tangible, absolute taste to serve Krishna. Actually, 12 varieties. Among the 12 varieties, we are talking about the 5 primary varieties, which is said here. Okay, one can, which is temporary, the rasa of the metal world exhibited. Yeah, continue, Rajesh.
Yes, Prabhu. Therefore, one who attains full knowledge of these different rasas, which are the basic principles of activities, can understand the false representations of the original rasas which are reflected in the material world. The learned scholar seeks to relish the real rasa in the spiritual form. In the beginning, he desires to become one with the Supreme. Thus, less intelligent transcendentalists cannot go beyond this conception of becoming one with the spirit whole without knowing of the different rasas.
Okay, just wait. So once you know the reality, one can false representations of the rasa which are reflection in this world. When you know this real thing, Prabhupada used to say, keep looking at the sun, the glowworms will go away. So when we have looking at the real origin force of the rasa, correct? That's why the vairagya is developed by people who are into the spiritual domain. It's not that they are not, but they know there is no pleasure here. Dutifully, the activities they should do. In fact, we were reading Bhagavatam. Everybody should read. Now, most of your householders, we should read the 7th canto, Narad Muni advice for a householder life. He says various principles. Rajesh, you read the chapter.
I had read it, Prabhu, but that was long back.
So very important instruction. First thing for a grahastha is to work hard to maintain the family, it says. But then that money should take it as a Lakshmi, which belongs to the Lord. Don't try to enjoy it. Okay? It is offering to the Lord. And the second principle there was he should seek association. Association is to seek our devotee. And you should hear about Krishna in that association. Second principle for a grahastha. There is a very list of principles for a grahastha in that. We can read. It will be very nice. Okay? So it says something very interesting there. To family members, we should look very attached. Otherwise, they will be disturbed. But actually, we should be detached. And it says, when friends and relatives come to tell you, do like this, you should say, correct, correct. Don't follow that. But say correct, correct. Wonderful. You said wonderful. Friends come, yeah, chalo, you should go to movie. Ah, yeah, it's wonderful. Don't contest. Simply 2 hours to go. है ना? In contesting, simply they eat your head. पागल हो गया क्या? तुमको साधु बनना है क्या? I'll not drink. Also, they will give you 10 hours class. Yeah, I want to come here actually, but today I have to go some relatives' marriage is there. Take it. Don't say we should not drink, then over. है ना? Whole night they will kill you. They'll not talk to you also. We should act very normal in society, and we should keep faith in Krishna secret. Don't talk. Don't reveal jewels. You got a diamond with you, Bhakti Lata Bija, don't reveal it. That becomes rather even an offense because they will laugh at it. We were sitting here discussing Bhagavatam, it is so nice. Tell that. Tell to somebody who you think will be able to take it. But to people who are like animals and dogs, don't tell. What? Isn't it, Rajesh?
Yes, Prabhu.
Anna? Wanted to add something? Real rasa in the spiritual form. Okay? So family members, you should look very attached, but you should be beautiful. You should be very beautiful, but you externally should look very attached. So they are very happy. Nobody can capture our heart. Our heart has been given to Krishna. Correct? You don't give it to anybody.
So theoretically, it's easy to say that.
But
my experience, theoretically it's so easy, but we are all attached to so many things. And especially once you work hard towards it, it's easy to say, you should be detached. But once you work hard, just like if you grow a tree for 30 years, you should chop it. If you don't like someone to chop the tree, it's not that attachment, it's something else. I don't know.
It's part of your life. We're not saying chop it. Take care of it beautifully.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there's attachment.
Yeah, okay. Rajesh solved this.
That's
Sorry,
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
No, the question in this Mataji, we are discussing the rasa. They are saying, I just said that, see, the shloka says, the real rasa is there in the spiritual world. Okay, na? The learned scholars consider the real rasa in the spiritual world. So now in a family setting, as we are living, we have family members, okay? And we are attached. The example Prabhuji is giving here, 30 years you're growing a tree, you'll be so attached to it, correct? So how do you practically deal real rasa and perverted rasa? Because original rasas are with Krishna, but in this world, we are experiencing these rasas and reflection, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how do you deal with it? The question has come from Grihasthas.
Prabhu, the best way, perhaps, in my experience, I'm just sharing my experience, is that probably you could get family members involved in serving Krishna. So in that way, they also understand and relish the taste of being Krishna conscious. They also understand that this is just a reflection.
Yeah, and at the same time, once the family members are involved in Krishna consciousness, it's no longer material. That has also become spiritual. You know why? Because spiritual world also, you have a wife, you have a relationship. But Krishna is the center, that's all. It's not that you don't have a wife in spiritual, you don't have children. We have children, but Krishna is in the center. Then the family becomes spiritualized.
Yeah, but in creation, attachment is so natural. Even birds, elephant. Elephant has no knowledge of the spiritual world, as far as science goes.
Okay.
When a calf dies, elephants gather and they cry. They cry, and they don't leave the body for 3-4 days, 1 week. They all stand together. I mean, this attachment is so different. It's so easy. I mean, I'm not arguing.
No, I'm just saying, good, you're being honest to open it. So let the other. Prabhu Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
In a forest, elephants are there. You can hear me? You can hear? Now, when
Yes, Prabhu.
So when a small
Yes,
calf
Prabhuji.
dies in a forest of an elephant, a child dies, the elephants sit around it for 1 week. They don't leave the child. They're so attached. Attachment is so natural in this world. Correct?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah,
So
yeah.
they are saying we are telling all real rasa, real rasa. What is all this?
I mean, that attachment goes away when somebody you are attached to, they crushes your. See, if I have a son,
Ah.
I am so attached to him. During my old age, if he does something so horrific, then that attachment breaks. But till that point, attachment stays so strong that for the attachment to go away, that needs to happen. That moment has to come. Otherwise, in this life, that attachment is so difficult to. It just continues. I mean, that's my understanding.
Even if we have attachment or if we not have attachment, Krishna at some point in time he takes it away. Everything he will take away. That is what.
Mrityu sarva haras chaham.
So with the understanding, Prabhuji, then why we are working so hard towards material life? Why can't we still live simple life? Just like people are pursuing so much. One second, Prabhuji. Let me finish. That is your understanding. Then my question to you is, then why we are trying so hard toward material excess? Why can't I live in a simple way? Why can't I just walk? Why I have to use all the modern facilities to make my life? Because see, the way we are living, we are completely raping planet Earth. You agree with me, right?
Correct.
So, why do I need to live in a way everything is getting destroyed because of human beings? So, if you believe in that, then we should strive towards simple life.
But I think what you have told is 100% right. 100% following might not be possible by normal people. But then at the end of the day, Krishna takes it away. Everything is taken away.
See, that's what I'm saying. If Krishna takes it away, if you are so convinced.
We were reading and you know what happened? Interesting. Rajesh, you were there Sunday night Krishna book. Prabhupada
No,
making that point where Uddhava was, Akrura was sent to Hastinapur to take the stock of the situation of the Pandavas. And he sees the situation and he sees that Dhritarashtra is actually, instead of protecting the Pandavas, and actually kingdom belongs to them. They're not grown up, he can give the kingdom. He's artificially holding the kingdom. And not only that, you were there, Mataji, very interesting analysis comes there, you were there. And not only that, so Akrura, and he was part of the attempts to kill the Pandavas. So when Akrura goes to meet finally Queen Kunti, she breaks down. She starts crying. She's the aunt of Krishna. He has come from Dwarka to take care of the welfare of Krishna's relatives, just to see how are Kunti doing and her children. Pandavas are all great devotees of Krishna. So Krishna has said. So he went to Dhritarashtra, seeing in an angry mood, oh, what is all this going? This is not your kingdom. You're sitting artificially on the throne. Okay, you're sitting on the throne, at least treat the Pandavas as your subjects. You cannot kill them. Quite justified arguments, he says. So he, what he says to Dhritarashtra? I know Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. I know. Somehow, when I look at Duryodhan, my mind becomes crazy. And he says, I know one day Krishna, I'm not able to follow Krishna, but one day Krishna will take care of me. So we were all laughing. Actually, we all have same attitude like Dhritarashtra. Here, Rajesh, have you read the chapter?
Even to add, Arjuna also had similar situation, but he took the shelter of Krishna.
Immediately.
He has
He didn't wait one day.
He was also about to renounce this war, go to forest for meditation, but he took the advice. So,
Chalo. Okay, now this is the 7th chapter of Bhagavatam. Now from Rasa we went to Grihastha ashram. So 7th canto of Bhagavatam is there. In that, Narada Muni's instruction are for brahmachari. One chapter. Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanapras, Sannyas. So everybody can read a specific ashram there. Okay? We continue. Okay? So thanks, Prabhuji. Good discussion. Makes everybody participate and we learn a lot. Okay, Rajesh, continue in this shloka.
In this shloka, it is definitely stated that spiritual rasa, which is relished even in the liberated stage, can be experienced in the literature of the Srimad Bhagavatam due to its being the ripened fruit of all Vedic knowledge. By submissively hearing this transcendental literature, one can attain the full pleasure of his heart's desire. but one must be very careful to hear the message from the right source. Srimad Bhagavatam is exactly received from the right source. It was brought by Narada Muni from the spiritual world and given to his disciple Sri Vyasadeva. The latter, in turn, delivered the message to his son Srila Sukadeva Goswami, and Srila Sukadeva Goswami delivered the message to Maharaj Parikshit just 7 days before the king's death. Srila Sukadeva Goswami was a liberated soul from his very birth. He was liberated even in the womb of his mother, and he did not undergo any sort of spiritual training.
After his birth.
After his birth. At birth, no one is qualified, neither in the mundane nor in the spiritual sense. But Sri Shukadeva Goswami, due to his being a perfectly liberated soul, did not have to undergo an evolutionary process for spiritual realization. Yet, despite his being a completely liberated person situated in the transcendental position above the three material modes, he was attracted to this transcendental rasa of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is adored by liberated who sing Vedic hymns. The Supreme Lord's pastimes are more attractive to liberated souls than to mundane people. He is of necessity, not impersonal, because it is only possible to carry on transcendental rasa with a person.
Yeah, Manoj, Rajesh, just wait. Okay, so there are some points. Say it is stated that spiritual rasa is ready. Can you experience in the literature of Srimad Bhagavatam? Srimad Bhagavatam is full of the spiritual rasas. You will hear Prahlad Maharaj praying to the Lord. You will hear that is Vasalya rasa. You will hear Gopi's relation to Krishna. That is, Madhurya rasa. You'll have Arjuna. All these rasas are presented. Huh? Sakhya rasa. You can relish, and there are certain to be very careful to hear from the right source. Prabhupada will come to that later. Not professional men who do it for some ulterior motive, isn't it? Then actually, when you glorify the Lord, it is for Krishna's pleasure, not for the audience pleasure. But when the glorification is kapata, Krishna can make it. Krishna will not be happy. Once Krishna will not be happy, nobody will become happy. Neither you will be happy. Genuine in what we are doing. When you're chanting Hare Krishna, we're just chanting for Lord's pleasure. My Lord, we chant my rounds, please hear attentively. Mataji, 32 rounds still? 16. 16. 16?
16.
Great. Yes, Mataji. You are chanting 16, everybody knows. Rajesh, 16.
Okay.
All 16. Others, how many now? Hey, your exam finished? Huh? How you chant 16? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare. When you have holidays, just take few days here. We'll train you to chant 16. Prabhuji 16. 17. Oh, this is Mataji. This is the Purushottam Masa. Some extra rounds.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Shukadeva Goswami liberated soul from his very birth. You all know about this. He was this is like very special. We are born all abodha jata. We are born in total ignorance. Not Shukadeva Goswami. Full Siddha Purusha. And even personality like that wanted to relish Bhagavata Rasa. His father taught him. Father ran after him. Wait, I could not train you properly. He thought father wants to do Namakarana and all. I'm not interested. Because he's already Mukta Purusha. Doesn't need all that samskara. That is to make you Mukta. He's already Mukta. Then father said, I want to talk about Bhagavata, which I told you only in summary. I want to tell more. He said, that I want to hear. Then he heard the Bhagavata Rasa and he was drinking and drinking. And he just walked away, thanking his father. With imagine the pure heart burning in love of Krishna. Therefore, you see that even Vidura went to Maitreya, and Maitreya kept speaking about Krishna, and hearing, he becomes so ecstatic. Then he walked away totally satisfied, just like you are eating. Your hunger is not satisfied. Thoda all lao, thoda no, I give you one grain. Thoda khilao bhai. And then you're fully satisfied. I'm satisfied. So the example of Parikshit Maharaj, he was hearing from Shukamuni. Hearing. In 7 days, he was totally satisfied. So much so, he said, where is the snake bird? Where is the death? And then the snake came, by arrangement of the Lord, snake had to come. Snake came, he already left the body of Samadhi. Okay, bite the dead body. Snake bit his body, so much poison, body burned. But he had already gone to the spiritual world. Anyway, the body has to burn one day. So that is how we should hear Bhagavatam, because nothing else should give us satisfaction. Other things give us satisfaction, then we will not be eager, correct? Your politics give you satisfaction. Who is going to win the chief minister? Isn't it Rajesh? Who will be chief
Yes,
minister
Prabhu.
of Karnataka? So much time people spend. I heard some people did not sleep for 2-3 days. Along with the politicians. Good for nothing people. They cannot save you. Okay? So we take shelter of Krishna. And this go on as per the Kala Karma. Prabhupada said things will go on, don't worry. He is of necessity and not impersonal, because very, very important line. When I mark blue, that's extremely important. The last color, I have the coloring. Yellow, green. Yellow is the first one. Green is the most stronger. Notes is underlined. And red is warning. And blue is, final. Very, very important. What is that? Krishna cannot be impersonal, because you cannot have a relationship with a stone. My best friend. Is it possible? You hold the table, my best friend, my best friend. हो सकता है, correct? Your bike, all the youngsters, their photo will be one. What happened? I put a small ad for my evening class in Facebook, 280 rupees. That's all, 280. And 750 people gave a like for that. Actually, I should have created an event. Event mein hota, I'll come or not come. Now this is 750. What would it be? I don't know. Oh, what does it mean? I don't know. He also said like, but what does the like mean? I don't know. Like means I'll come. So I thought, okay. Now let me see their profiles. I'll invite those who look sattvic, because if you do more, then the Facebook people catch you to write. If you write too much, you write to 100 people in a day, they catch you. You're misusing the facility, because you may be spamming. So I was looking at the photos to select. And most of the youngsters with big goggles and bike, just you immediately reject that. Useless. These people are of no use. On bike, because they can't afford a car, on bike and goggles. I don't know from where they get a 20 rupee goggles. You have seen them? Hardly. Then somebody has said, sir, you will not find anybody then. Okay? So what we should have? So we can't have relationship with a bike or with a stone, or a relationship with a person. So very much now, God has to be a person. Either Rasamrita Sindhu. How can God not be a personality? True? Because Rasa, how will he exchange? Rajesh, Prabha Mataji, you want to say anything? You want to say anything here? Let this. Yes, Prabha Mataji.
Regarding what Prabhuji is that regarding the rasa?
No, it says the God cannot be impersonal, because it is not possible to carry on transcendental rasa with the. It is only possible to carry on transcendental rasa with the person. Only person you can have vasalya, sakya with the person, not with the stone. Correct?
Oh, yes.
So
Yes,
if God is
Prabhuji.
Rasamrita Sindhu, he has to be a person, isn't it?
Yeah. True.
The stone cannot be. He cannot be energy or stone. See, scientists are wrong. They say ultimate truth. We are having rasas. From where the rasas have come? There has to come from the source of rasas. Rasamrita Sindhu. That has to be a person to reciprocate. So, chalo, continue. Mataji, you like to read? Prabha Mataji?
Prabhuji, I'm still looking into the book. It's I'm having mobile, so it's a very small screen. Which text we are on, Prabhuji?
Okay, you look
Later I can read.
first canto, third verse. First canto, first chapter.
Third verse?
Third verse. We are in he will read one paragraph by the time we catch. Rajesh, you start.
Yes.
Okay, Prabhuji.
In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the transcendental pastimes of the Lord are narrated, and the narration is systematically depicted by Srila Sukadeva Goswami. Thus, the subject matter is appealing to all classes of persons, including those who seek liberation and those who seek to become one with the Supreme Whole.
Okay, is this simple? Very clear. Yeah. Continue.
Okay. In Sanskrit, the parrot is also known as Sukha. When a ripened fruit is cut by the red beaks of such birds, its sweet flavor is enhanced. The Vedic fruit, which is mature and ripe in knowledge, is spoken through the lips of Srila Sukadeva Goswami, who is compared to the parrot not for his ability to recite the Bhagavatam exactly as he heard it from his learned father, but for his ability to present the work in a manner that would appeal to all classes of men.
Correct. So therefore, we have to present in a way it's very appealing to everybody. You see the Prabhupada books when I read, it's like Nigama Kalpataror, very understandable, easily digested. You know, recently I had one course is coming in the colleges, that is Upanishads and Puranas. So I have just told many colleges I'll take the course. So I was sitting and studying the 6 philosophies of India. If I give you those 80 pages, first notes I have made, this is from a sannyasi has made. I just downloaded and printed it. You can't read one page. Challenge. I'll give you one page and tell me at the end of the day, explain to me. You'll not be able to explain. It's not digestible. It's very tough. Gautama's philosophy, Kannada's the philosophy, very difficult. Very difficult. They're not digestible only. So the real contribution of an acharya, you see the Prabhupada's contribution, not only repeating what he heard from Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada, repeat in a way that it is present age, with the present mass of people, very digestible. Like children's he is teaching, you know, he teaches so simple. Huh? Isn't it that experience? You read other books, so difficult to understand. Oh, wow. Yeah, Prabha Mataji, are you ready? You have reached the area?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, the subject matter, continue.
Is it thus the subject matter, yeah?
The subject matter is so presented. Okay, the parrot is also known as Shuka. Shuka. This translator, he is the parrot of Radharani. Who? Shukadeva Goswami. Therefore, when he spoke, even Narada is sitting. Even though he is a parrot, not ordinary parrot, he is a parrot of. Therefore, in the Bhagavatam, it doesn't utter Radharani's name. In Bhagavatam, there is a lot of discussion Radharani in the Dasham Skanda. It doesn't utter a name. So this all the acharyas became bewildered. Her name is not there in Bhagavatam. Quality after Krishna is Radha. Because then they said, because he can't take the name. Just like at home, in India even now, wife doesn't take the name of the husband, correct? Now world is changing. Abhi youngsters is not there. Previously they're not, Anna. North India, sunte ho, you know, she will not take the name out of respect. Husband can take sometime, but she will not take the name. But therefore, being the servant of Radharani, he cannot utter the name from his mouth. It doesn't come. So it is derived from one of his statements in Bhagavatam that Gopis Aradhana is so great. Aradhana Radha. That's why it is derived. But the other Puranas, it is said these Leelas which is being said, particularly the Brahmara Leela, you know, which is very famous. She becomes mad when Uddhava comes with a message to Vrindavana. She starts talking to a bee in total madness. That shows a total samadhi on the Lord. And that Leela has been referred in other Purana and said that Gopi is Radha. So therefore we know who is Radha Bhagavatam. He didn't take her name. Because this bewilders you, why is Shuka speaking, why Narada is sitting there? And another thing is that Shuka Muni is in there at the Shantarasa. And we say always the Madhurya Rasa is high, he is Shantarasa Bhakta. But what Shantarasa? A parrot of Radharani, not ordinary Shantarasa. This is, you understand? He is not ordinary, he is very, very, very intimate. He knows what's going on with Radha Krishna Leela. And there is a big story how he came in the womb of, in fact, once Shiva was telling Bhagavata to Parvati. And he said nobody should be there because Bhagavatam is very confidential. And this parrot was sitting this way. Then something happened, he ran and he went into the mouth of Vedavyasa's wife and took birth. This is because they are not ordinary parrots. Otherwise, this cannot happen. You digest a parrot and he takes a birth. These are not ordinary parrots. He took a birth there. So that is how this person is born. He's not ordinary. He's an extremely extraordinary personality. Isn't it, Rajesh? You heard about Shuka?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, he's an extraordinary parrot. So this Bhagavatam was already relishable. It became more relishable because it came from the mouth of Shuka. Just like mango is already relishable, but when parrot makes ISI stamp on it by pecking on it, the taste enhances this. One thing, it has an ability among 1,000 mangoes, by God's gift, he can identify by smelling and by color, texture. No? He has eyes. Because that is a speciality. He goes and pecks at the right mango. And that ISI mark is there. If you take that mango, the tastiest mango, he can identify. Number two, it is said, when he pecks on it by the red beak, the taste enhances. And this is, you can do an experimental study. But the symbolism is understandable. Again, Prabhupada is saying he's not repeating like a parrot. He is presenting in a way by total realization and understanding, and not like in a way that is understandable. So that's why you see Prabhupada books, you give to anybody. People easily appreciate. Yes, Prabha Mataji, you ready?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
The subject
The
matter.
the subject matter is so presented through the lips of Srila Shukadeva Goswami that any sincere listener that hears submissively can at once relish transcendental tastes which are distinct from the perverted taste of the material world. The ripened fruit is not dropped all of a sudden from the highest planet of Krishnaloka. Rather, it has come down carefully through the chain of disciplic succession without change or disturbance. Foolish people who are not in the transcendental disciplic succession commit great blunders by trying to understand the highest transcendental rasa known as the rasa dance without following in the footsteps of Shukadeva Goswami, who presents this fruit very carefully by stages of transcendental realization. One should be intelligent enough to know the position of Srimad Bhagavatam by considering personalities like Shukadeva Goswami, who deals with the subject so carefully. This process of disciplic succession of the Bhagavatam school suggests that in the future also Srimad Bhagavatam has to be understood from a person who is factually a representative of Srila Shukadeva Goswami. A professional man who makes a business out of reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam illegally is certainly not a representative of Shukadeva Goswami. Such a man's business is only to earn his livelihood. Therefore, one should refrain from hearing the lectures of such professional men. Such men usually go to the most confidential part of the literature without undergoing the gradual process of understanding this grave subject. They usually plunge into the subject matter of the rasa dance, which is misunderstood by the foolish class of men. Some of them take this to be immoral, which others try to cover it up by their own stupid interpretations. They have no desire to follow in the footsteps of Srila Shukadeva Goswami.
Okay, so
One should conclude.
Mataji,
Okay.
we'll just read this
Yes,
paragraph. Understand? You read lot. The subject matter is so presented, which are distinct from the perverted taste of the metal world. Okay, na? Okay, so we can taste the original taste. Rasa. Ripened fruit is not dropped suddenly. When a tree mango you got on the top, generally they have a bag in which they collect and slowly they lower down the bag. That's what I saw. But anyway, it takes 4 or 5 people have climbed the tree one by one. They pass it down. That's called Guru Parampara. They don't throw it on the ground; it will break. So it's very carefully brought down by the parampara without changing the interpretation. It has come down carefully without any change. And Prabhupada said, don't commit blunder by understanding the high as a rasa dance without in the footsteps of the Shukadeva Goswami. These are all, just like it says, if you without the shelter of Goswamis, you cannot understand the Madhurya Leela. That is in the prayers of the Acharyas. Rupa Raghunatha hote pade have okuti, kabi ham bhujavo, she jugala priti. You want to understand Radha Krishna Leela? Take shelter of the Goswamis in our parampara. So in Guru Parampara we understand. Okay. As factually representative Srimad Bhagavatam, professional one who takes a business out of it, just like the Pandas of North India, that's not going to happen. Bhagavas, particularly Prabhupada, is very unhappy with the Bhagavas of that. It's not done properly. Okay, men usually go to the most confident. Their whole idea is to entertain the public. The Krishna is out of focus. Even doing kirtan, the focus should be to focus on Krishna. When you're focusing on Krishna, you'll always be very attentively hearing what you're chanting, correct? And praying to the Lord. Totally different altogether. Subject matter rasa dam, which is mistook by foolish class of men. Some tried. This is a very nice, interesting joke. That green marked one. I met the dean of one college. He was a very nice person, Manipal College. He was very kind to me to give me permission to hold classes, which I never got after him. Only he could give me. And he made a lot of devotees. So the all KMC group, they became devotees because of him. And then he was very pious, very pious. You know, one day I was sitting with him. You know, I understood that what is this Vastra Haran Leela. So I said, tell me, what did you understand? Actually, Krishna was teaching there is no difference between male and female. I said, that is not Vastra Haran Leela. So some stupid interpretation, because they are Hindus, they want to see. For any Hindu, Krishna Leelas sometimes are ununderstandable. Why did Krishna steal the dress of the gopis? Why did Krishna do rasa dance? They can't understand, true? Normal Hindus. They don't study Bhagavatam. They don't meet devotees. And some interpretation because they want to maintain their so-called superficial faith. Right? So people do some khichdi. So Prabhupada said, there is no need to do this also called. You don't have to hide that. That's what he's saying. Try to cover it up by their own stupid interpretation. But male and female is same. Is that the lesson from Vastrahara Leela? They had prayed, Krishna, we want to be your wives. So Krishna said, okay, you can be only naked in front of the husband. I'll make it happen. So they were all naked in front of Krishna. Krishna said, that's satisfied. I accepted you now. Correct? And next year, I'll have Rasa Leela with you. Isn't it? That's what happened now. That is the real meaning. But they don't know the real meaning. There's some meaning somehow to justify. Isn't it, Rajesh?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, Mataji, complete the last paragraph.
Okay, Prabhuji. Correct. One should conclude, therefore, that the serious student of the rasa should receive the message of Bhagavatam in the chain of disciplic succession from Srila Shukadeva Goswami, who describes the Bhagavatam from its very beginning and not whimsically to satisfy the mundaner who has very little knowledge in transcendental science. Srimad Bhagavatam is so carefully presented that a sincere and serious person can at once enjoy the ripened fruit of Vedic knowledge simply by drinking the nectarian juice through the mouth of Shukadeva Goswami or his bona fide representative.
So carefully presented. So if you drinking nectarian juice through the mouth, if you hear Aho Bhuvi Rasika Bhuvi Bhavakaha. So every time class we can know what we are doing. We are drinking the rasa of Bhagavatam. Aho Rasika Bhuvi. You know, it's Piba the Bhagavata Rasamalayam. You see the words, what it says? Piba the Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. Drink the Bhagavata Rasa. Yeah. Whenever we get time, instead of reading newspaper, instead of sitting on TV, who became chief minister, and crying about it, that will go on. Don't worry. Okay, na? Piba the Bhagavata Rasamalayam. This all word we have to die one day. Correct? In this world, we cannot set things right. Correct? We cannot. It's not possible. Just like in a toilet, you go finish your business and get out. Oh, you think now you'll paint the toilet. No. This world is a horrible place. So our main business should not stop because of all the tamasha. Correct? Piba the Bhagavata. Everybody gave vote.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Oh, you also gave vote from postage there? Piba the Bhagavata Rasamalayam. Okay, chalo. This is clear, everybody. So now actually 6 questions of Bhagavatam will come. And I hope we can do it. But Rajesh, you ready? Hare Krishna, Rajesh?
Yes, Prabhu.
You're ready. Little fast. You want to finish 19 verses and the 6 questions. And I'll tell you the answers of the 6th question when the question comes. Where it comes. I'll look at all the answers. Thanks to the notes. Hello. Once in a holy place in the forest of Naimisharanya, a great sages headed by the Shaunika assembled to perform a great 1,000-year sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord and his devotees.
Yeah, the prelude of the Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken in the previous 3 slokas. Now the main topic of this great literature is being presented. Srimad Bhagavatam, after its first recitation by Srila Sukadeva Goswami, was repeated for the second time at Naimisaranya.
Is everybody clear this much? First time it was spoken at Shukad Muni and then repeated in Naimisharanya. Continue.
In the Vyavya Tantra, it is said that Brahma, the engineer of this particular universe, contemplated a great wheel which could enclose the universe. The hub of this great circle was fixed
at particular place. Oh, you got a call. At a particular place known as Naimisharanya. Similarly, there is another reference to the forest of Naimisharanya in the Varaha Purana, where it is stated with the performance of sacrifice at this place, the strength of the demonic people is curtailed. The Brahmanas prefer Naimisharanya for such sacrificial performance. So it's clear. There are 2 references at Naimisharanya. Who has gone to Naimisharanya? You're gone. You're gone. Mataji has gone. Long time ago. Aap bhi gaye? Nimshar. It is called nowadays Nimsha. You have seen? Mataji ne dekha. How you have seen?
My parents.
Parents and gone. You have gone? And, we will go one day. When we go to North India, we will go. Huh? Isn't it? It's very nice to go there. And we will read Bhagavatam there for 24 hours. Something. Not like that. We will from morning sit and hear Bhagavatam. Very still the trees are there, shade is there, and we can just conceive what happened there. Rajesh, you have gone? Nimsha? Prabha Mataji, you have gone to Naimisharanya?
No, Prabhuji.
Uttar Pradesh. It's all in, actually most of the holy places, many are in Uttar Pradesh. But I hope today now the law and order is coming back to play. Otherwise,
But how come it became so degraded?
मैं भी उधर कम ऐसा नहीं बोलो.
No, Uttar Pradesh in
I
general.
was part of Uttar Pradesh. I am Uttarakhand it has become. So I am saved. I am not humiliated now.
No, that was, I'm saying, see, with the description, even in Bhagavatam, there are so many holy places.
But one thing is there, they easily become devotees. North Indians, easily to turn them around. South Indian is like coconut. You crack also, keep hitting. Crack also. See how many 16 years are over. And North India, one fellow will have that asaram, how lakhs of people come. You take pandal totally full. South India is like coconut. You hit it and crack will also not come. I was joking somewhere. North India is like papaya. One hit they break. There are various reasons. Chalo. Prabha Mataji, isn't it true?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
He was telling Uttar Pradesh, all the holy places, Nimshar is there, Ayodhya is there, Mathura is there, but the place has become so degraded. I said that maybe, but people are easily turn around. Easily turn around. You see, all Delhi has 17 temples full of people. Okay, chalo, continue. Rajesh, read fast. The devotees.
Yes, Prabhu, I'm back.
The devotees. The devotees of Lord Vishnu.
The devotees of Lord Vishnu offer all kinds of sacrifices for his pleasure. The devotees are always attached to the service of the Lord, whereas fallen souls are attached to the pleasures of material existence. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that anything performed in the material world for any reason other than for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu causes further bondage for the performer. It is enjoined, therefore, that all acts must be performed sacrificially for the satisfaction of Vishnu and his devotees.
Okay, who knows? The blue line means always, if I put a blue line, that's a shloka. What is the shloka? Yat karoshi yadashnashi yat juhoshi dadati yat tapaswasi kaunteya kurushe mada arpanam. Okay? All acts to be performed for the pleasure of Vishnu. Okay? That's in Bhagavad Gita. So devotees mean everything for sacrifice for his pleasure. Always attached to the service. But fallen souls are attached to the pleasures of material existence. So we are officially devotees. Isn't it? Still attached. They're always attached to the service. The taste, they got the rasa. Devotee means that rasa has come in his heart. And the proof of the rasa is he has no anxiety. I will read in the end. Nectar devotion says 6 proofs that you got the rasa in your heart. But if the Bhakti Rata Bija has come, Rajesh or Prabha Mataji, go to Nectar Devotion, first chapter. You read the first paragraph. Prabhupada says, what is the proof Bhakti has started in the heart? Pure devotion service has started. There are 6 symptoms. And the first symptom of no anxiety. All of wishness, number 2. Then you feel so much transcendental pleasure awakens in your heart. You don't even want moksha now. And Lord becomes so dear to you and so rare. We discuss this? Discuss in the morning also. Okay.
Probably does it apply to householders also?
Bhakti is transcendent.
Householders are always in anxiety. I mean.
Hey Rajesh.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji is saying this shloka doesn't apply to householders. Householders are in anxiety.
Everybody may not agree with me. I'm just saying. Nowadays, it's full of anxiety. Anybody agree?
So when you,
That's why we are interested in Krishna.
therefore we should very attentively hear and increase the japa and feel total happy. Just like when you go to doctor now, Yeah, doctor is there. The first symptom when I gone to a good doctor, my fever is over. My bodily pain is over. And I have not become cured, but my pain is over now. Isn't it? 1 month I'm taking medicine, fever is or body is still paining, and what's happening? True. So first symptom when you take to bona fide process of spiritual life is I feel so peaceful. Correct? It is over. And then the transcendental pressure awakens. It's also auspicious like that. Okay, Rajesh, continue. This will bring
This will bring everyone peace and prosperity. The great sages are always anxious to do good to the people in general, and as such, the sages headed by Saunaka and others assembled at this holy place of Naimi Saranya with a program of performing a great and continuous chain of sacrificial ceremonies. Forgetful men do not know the right path for peace and prosperity. However, the sages know it well, and therefore, for the good of all men, they are always anxious to perform acts which may bring about peace in the world. They are sincere friends to all living entities, and at the risk of great personal inconvenience, they are always engaged in the service of the Lord for the good of all people. Lord Vishnu is just like a great tree, and all others, including the demigods, men, siddhas, Karanas, Vidyadharas, sorry, Prabhu,
Charanas.
Charanas, Vidyadharas, and other living entities are like branches, twigs, and leaves of that tree. By pouring water on the root of the tree, all the parts of the tree are automatically nourished. Only those branches and leaves which are detached cannot be so satisfied. Detached branches and leaves dry up gradually despite all watering attempts. Similarly, human society, when it is detached from the personality of Godhead like detached branches and leaves, is not capable of being watered, and one attempting to do so is simply wasting his energy and resources.
Okay, so today we see so many plants are there, but when the plants are not connected to the Lord, it will not bring peace and satisfaction in the soul. Therefore, Prabhupada says that modern day leaders are misled. They can't lead properly. They don't know the real path of peace and prosperity. It's to be connected to the Lord. When the water is put to the root, it goes everywhere, but not to the branch which is disconnected. So society today is disconnected from the Lord. Whatever you do, it will never be satisfied. The main problem is our disconnection from the Lord. Okay? Continue, Rajesh.
The modern materialistic society is detached from its relation to the Supreme Lord, and all its plans which are being made by atheistic leaders are sure to be baffled at every step. Yet they do not wake up to this. In this age, the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord is the prescribed method for waking up. The ways and means are most scientifically presented by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and intelligent persons may take advantage of his teachings in order to bring about real peace and prosperity. Srimad Bhagavatam is also presented for the same purpose, and this will be explained more specifically later in the text.
Okay, it's very clear. Yes, we proceed. Because I actually want to bring 6 questions up there now, and I want to tell you the answers also. Okay, one day after finishing their morning duties, after burning a sacrificial fire and offering a seat of esteem to Sri Suta Goswami, the great sages made inquiries with great respect about the following matters. Yeah, continue, Rajesh.
Morning is the best time to hold spiritual services. The great sages offered the speaker of the Bhagavatam an elevated seat of respect called the Vyasasana, or the seat of Sri Vyasadeva. Sri Vyasadeva is the original spiritual preceptor for all men, and all other preceptors are considered to be his representatives. A representative is one who can exactly present the viewpoint of Sri Vyasadeva. Sri Vyasadeva impregnated the message of Bhagavatam unto Srila Sukadeva Goswami, and Sri Suta Goswami heard it from him. Sri Sukadeva Goswami. All bona fide representatives of Sri Vyasadeva in the chain of disciplic succession are to be understood to be Goswamis. These Goswamis restrain all their senses and they stick to the path made by the previous acharyas. The Goswamis do not deliver lectures on the Bhagavatam capriciously. Rather, they execute their services most carefully, following their predecessors who delivered the spiritual message unbroken to them.
And continue. Those
who listen to the Bhagavatam may put questions to the speaker in order to elicit the clear meaning, but this should not be done in a challenging spirit. One must submit questions with a great regard for the speaker and the subject matter. This is also the way recommended in the Bhagavad Gita. One must learn the transcendental subject by submissive oral reception from the right sources. Therefore, these sages address the speaker Suta Goswami with great respect.
Okay, so they have the proper, see what is happening now, the proper qualification of the speaker of Bhagavatam is coming out. It's like we are all actually learning from Srila Prabhupada. We're just doing congregational reading around Srila Prabhupada book. But the qualification is coming out so that we don't make a mistake. What are the qualifications coming out? Okay, great respect made inquiries about the morning is the best, first thing morning is best time. So don't become night bird, become early morning bird. Get up early morning. And Vyasadeva is the original spiritual preceptor for all men. Vyasadeva is the guru. And any person should represent Vyasadeva. But unfortunately, that doesn't happen in society. The representative of Vyasadeva, they have a dress. All this is the dress of a representative of Vyasadeva, correct? But people speak their own mind. So that's not honest. Goswamis, they very strictly follow rules and regulation, take out the path of the great acharyas. They execute the service most carefully, following the predecessors, unbroken message, and proper says, try to understand your question, but not in a challenging spirit. So that's there even in colleges. We just don't like to answer if it is not properly, isn't it? Put an effort, teacher knows, and students speak in a way, teacher also doesn't feel happy, correct? No, you said this, sir, but I could not understand why this was there. Any clarification, that's fine, correct? But not in a challenging spirit, then the whole teacher-student relationship is broken. Okay? Regard and this thing, one must learn the trans-subject by submissive oral reception from the right. So we locate the right source and we hear from it. The sages said, respect to Suta Goswami, that the first question, not first question, not coming here, it will come. You are completely free from all vice. This is a qualification of a speaker. First thing, free from vice. You cannot be drunkard and other thing and speak. You are well versed in all the scriptures famous for religious life and in the Puranas and histories as well. For you have gone through them under proper guidance and I've also explained them. Yes, Rajesh?
Yes. A Goswami or the bona fide representative of Sri Vyasadeva must be free from all kinds of vices. The four major vices of Kali Yuga are: number 1, illicit connection with women. Point number 2, animal slaughter. Point number 3, intoxication, speculative gambling of all sorts. A Goswami must be free from all these vices before he can dare sit on the Vyasasana. No one should be allowed to sit on the Vyasasana who is not spotless in character and who is not freed from the above mentioned vices. He not only should be freed from all such vices, but must also be well versed in all revealed scriptures or in the Vedas. The Puranas are also parts of the Vedas, and histories like the Mahabharata or Ramayana are also parts of the Vedas. The Acharya or the Goswami must be well acquainted with all these literatures. To hear and explain them is more important than reading them. One can assimilate the knowledge of the revealed scriptures only by hearing and explaining. Hearing is called Shravana and explaining is called Kirtana. The two processes of Shravana and Kirtana are of primary importance to progressive spiritual life. Only one who has properly grasped the transcendental knowledge from the right source by submissive hearing can properly explain the subject.
Okay, so very nice points. Number 1, the speaker. These are, see, whatever they are saying, these are the qualifications. You can see that you can actually, people have made various lists of these qualifications. Many people have written notes on Bhagavatam. and I was seeing they were writing the notes of the qualifications. First thing it is said, what is the first thing said? It should be free from vices. Prabhupada is making the very strong word. Nobody should be allowed to sit on the Vyasasana who is not spotted. Correct? Should be some standard. Should be. If he is drinking, smoking, gala सूख गया थोड़ा बीड़ी पी लेता हूँ. Prabhupada said, hey, you cannot speak on Bhagavatam. You should want to be free, and not only that, it can do poisonous effect. If he's having sinful activity, then he's speaking, rather than benefit, it will act like poison. Yeah. Avoid. They say Harikatha is going on. No, Shravanam naiva kartana. Avaishnava mukho Gita. From Avaishnava we should not hear. Sarpochishta payoratha. It will look like a poison. Isn't it, Prabha Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very nicely said. Only by hearing. This very interesting, the last which I underlined. See, hearing and explaining, and it is to hear and explain is more important than reading them. How do you explain this point? What does it mean?
It doesn't really what understand the gist of what's said.
Correct. Suppose we had colleges and we didn't have teachers. Do you think the medical college will come? You will make all the big library in your college. Students can come. First year we will give them access to the library, okay, and have exams. Will it work? Hearing and explaining. This is the process. Understanding and explaining. Here also we are hearing from Prabhupada. Just suppose people are reading. Mostly what people do, they get from Gita Press, pure translation. Because Bhagavatam is very big. 2 volumes you get whole Bhagavatam. 2 volumes you get whole Bhagavatam. Rajesh, you have it at home? 2 volume whole Bhagavatam, Gita Press?
Yes, Prabhu. I have, in fact, 1 volume which contains the whole of Bhagavatam.
That may be that ISKCON ka condensed, Purna Pragnadas.
Not ISKCON, Prabhu. This is the Gita Press one.
And just the translations, correct? So
Yes,
just reading that without proper explanation and understanding will not be helpful. That is correct. So when you read with explanation, you are actually trying to understand, and then you explain. So both reading and hearing and explaining is better than if an opportunity is there. Suppose always opportunity to hear. That is even more important than reading. An opportunity there of hearing, that is more important than reading. Purposely many times. And when I say reading, I generally mean just the verses without proper explanation. Just reading the. Many people do that. They read Bhagavatam, they don't read purports. They just read the translation. Ek bari dekh lo kya hai Bhagavatam. Theek hai, no problem. You do it once out of curiosity. But studying Bhagavatam is you should study properly with purport. Isn't it, Rajesh?
Yes, Prabhu.
इसलिए ना छोटे बच्चों के लिए स्टोरी बुक है क्या? So that should not be the standard of reading Bhagavatam, है ना?
Correct.
Reading stories for small children. No, there's a deep philosophy. See how nice with the purport. Just imagine you would have read this all shlokas without the purport. Not a properly relished every angle of it. Hai na? So that's very important. The Prabhupada said hearing is more important than just reading. When I say reading, I think it means just reading the translations. Correct? Hearing now, explanations have come. That's hearing. That hearing. What is this? Is called congregational hearing. Okay, one was properly translated, right? So the submissive hearing is properly explained. Being the elders Vedantis of Suta Goswami, you are acquainted with the knowledge of the Vyasa, with the incarnation of Godhead. You know other sages who have fully well versed in all kind of physical and metaphysical knowledge. See, more qualification. Being the elders learned Vedantis, O Suta Goswami, you are acquainted with the knowledge of the Vyasadeva, who is the incarnation of Godhead. You also know other sages who are fully versed in all kind of physical and metaphysical knowledge. Rajesh, I'll give chance to somebody to read.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Kamlesh has come here, write down. He has come to Bangalore. Rajesh doesn't come, but he has come.
Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentation
Come.
on the Brahma Sutra.
Kamlesh should come here.
Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentation on the Brahma Sutra or the Badarayani Vedanta Sutras. It is called natural because Vyasadeva is the author of both the Vedanta Sutras and Srimad Bhagavatam, or the essence of all Vedic literatures. Besides Vyasadeva, there are other sages who are the authors of 6 different philosophical systems,
namely Gautama, Kannada, Kapila, Patanjali, Jaimini, and Ashtavakra. Theism is explained completely in the Vedanta Sutra, whereas in other systems of philosophical speculations, practically no mention is given to the ultimate cause of all causes. One can sit on the Vyasasana only after being conversant in all systems of philosophy, so that one can present fully the theistic views of the Bhagavatam in defiance of all the other systems. Srila Suta Goswami was the proper teacher, and therefore the sages of Naimisharanya elevated him to the Vyasasana. Srila Vyasadeva is designated herein as a personality of Godhead because he is the authorized, empowered incarnation.
Yeah. Now I say these people, Gautama, which philosophy did Gautama give? What the philosophy of Shada, 6 philosophies? Gautama gave Nyaya, rules of argument and properly by deliberation to understand this word, correct? Logic, you should be logical. If you're logical, you'll give up sense gratification. Many people say I'm a rational person and they go to movie hall. What kind of rationality is this? They deny God by rationality, but they go to the cinema hall. That's not rational. They drink, that's not rational. It is stupid. So a real Nyaya person actually lives a very pure life. Just by proper deliberation, he understands all enjoyments of tradition. They say rational, but they're not rational. If you're really rational, you will be Gautama follower, Nyaya. Okay?
There's a joke that not just being rational, that you can find reasons for doing whatever you want to do.
Yeah, but they cannot give me the reason why they're drinking. They're not actually, they say rational, but they're most irrational people. Kannada is Vaisheshika. The next philosophy from Kannada, he gave Vaisheshika. Atom. Everything in atom. At the end, everything in atom. Okay, don't worry, I'll give a class on the 6 philosophies very soon. I'm preparing. Then Kapila, I have to prepare because this is going to be course in college. Kapila gave the Sankhya. This refers to not real Kapila of Bhagavatam, atheistic Kapila, Sankhya. Sankhya basically separating matter from spirit and dividing matter into 23 elements. Doesn't talk about God. All these are 6 philosophers, Astikya, they accept the Vedas. Only Buddhism is called Nastikya because it rejects the Vedas. They're all Astik, that accept, but their explanation is actually step by step. Then Patanjali gave you the Yoga Sutras, okay? By which you can take the evolve more. Jaimini gave Karma Mimamsa, Punya Karma, Papa Karma, forget God. Most of the astrologers forget God, Punya Karma, Papa Karma. They don't talk about God at all. That is more of Karma Kandi Brahmanas. In fact, this Karma Kandi Brahmanas had become so prevalent that 3000 years ago, roughly, or whatever time before Buddha came, they in temples became slaughterhouses because most of the slaughtering of animals is done for karma kanda, that punya, that I have to get some benefit. You give one bali, you will get, correct. To the extent they do narabali. That's what in Mangalore it happened. It happened in Mangalore when child was killed for some tantrics told to kill a child for some benefit. You will get promotion if you kill a child, and they kill the child. So therefore, at that time, Buddha came and gave totally non-Vedic philosophy. Nothing to do with the Vedas. Buddha, Lord Vishnu himself gave one philosophy which wiped out the Vedic philosophies, and then Shankaracharya came on. But originally, Veda Vyasa actually wrote Vedanta Sutra. In Vedanta Sutra, which is the summary essence of the Vedas, he has countered all the 6 philosophies. And he became Mahamuni, all submitted to him. And it is also known from the revealed scripture, Veda Vyasa is Vishnu himself. He is the incarnation of God. Okay? That is what is mentioned here. Properly teach it, therefore Sijan Namishana elevated to the Vyasasana. Okay, the 6 philosophies. What are the 6 philosophies in detail? What are the different aspects of it? We should soon have a good class.
Ashtavakra.
Moment I finish this mind control thing on the evening, I'll take Ashtavakra. I didn't know I left it and you brought me. Ashtavakra may be Vedanta. I don't know. Vedanta Sutra is Veda Vyasa, but Ashtavakra may be one of those philosophies of Gautama Kannada. I don't know. Okay, anybody can search out. Hey, anybody knows what is Ashtavakra? Prabha Mataji.
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, this Gautama Kannada Kapila, I will very soon take a class. I am preparing actually. I have taken a course in colleges where I have to teach. So I have to prepare. Okay. And because your submissive, your spiritual master is endowed with all that favors are bestowed upon a gentle disciple, therefore you can tell us how you have scientifically, all that you scientifically, still on the question has not come. They are glorifying him. They're so happy he's our teacher. You know, they're just glorifying him. You're so wonderful. You're so submissive. You know, these are our words are so nice. You're so submissive. Your spiritual master entered with all the failures on a disciple. Tell us what you scientifically learned from them. You say Saumya Sarvam Anugraha Snigdasya. The word is Snigdasya, the word. Snigdasya means
So,
I don't know why I'm not able to see.
of the one who is submissive.
Of one who is very submissive. Very good quality. Snigdasya, Shishya. Okay? So yeah. Rajesh. Okay, now Kamlesh was reading. Let him read. Yeah.
The secret of success in spiritual life is in satisfying the spiritual master and thereby getting the sincere blessings. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura has sung in the famous 8 stanzas on the spiritual master as follows. I offer my respectful obeisances onto the lotus feet of my spiritual master. Only by his satisfaction can one please the personality of Godhead. And when he is dissatisfied, there is only havoc on the path of spiritual realization. It is essential, therefore, that a disciple must be very obedient and submissive to the bona fide spiritual master. Srila Suta Goswami fulfilled all these qualifications as a disciple, and therefore he was endowed with all favors by his learned and self-realized spiritual masters such as Srila Vyasadeva and others. The sages of Naimisharanya were confident that Srila Suta Goswami was bona fide. Therefore, they were anxious to hear from him.
Okay, this is clear. Very anxious to hear from him because he's giving more qualifications. So we should be very secret of success spiritual life is to satisfy the spiritual master. Okay? And then we get the realization. So we are all seeking blessings of Srila Prabhupada. And one gets satisfied, the path of spiritual realization, heaven. Yasya prasada naditi kutobi. Yasya prasada bhagavad prasada.
Bhagavat Prasada.
Yes, the first question has come. Please, therefore, being blessed with many years, explain to us in an easily understandable way what you ascertain to be absolute and ultimate good for people in general. Beautiful question. The first question for which 18,000 shlokas of Bhagavatam will be answered. The first question. Actually, all the 6 questions will be answered in summary in the next 2 chapters. Okay, and the answer of that is ultimate good for the service. 1.2.6 Savai Pamsa Paradharma Yata Bhakti Yadhokshaje Ahaitukiya Pratihata Yayatma Suprasidati. Essence of all scripture. So starting 1.2.6 to 29. So 13 verses will be the answer of this first 2 questions. The second question is going to come. Okay. Okay, Kamlesh, Kritika.
In Bhagavad Gita, worship of the Acharya is recommended. These Acharyas and Goswamis are always absorbed in thought of the well-being of general public, especially their spiritual well-being. Spiritual well-being is automatically followed by material well-being. The Acharyas therefore give directions in spiritual well-being for people in general. Foreseeing these incompetencies of the people in this age of Kali or the iron age of quarrel, the sages requested that Suta Goswami give a summary of all the revealed scriptures because the people of this age are condemned in every respect. The sages therefore inquired of the absolute good, which is the ultimate good for the people. The condemned state of affairs of the people of this age is described as follows.
Correct. So they can foresee the Kali Yuga coming and they can see a lot of suffering that you don't tell. What is ultimate good for people? Correct? Actually, very rare. Some people are there. If you go to meet them, they're only wishing good for you. How's everything? Is everything fine? We say it, but we see superficial. But great acharyas generally feel good for people. And actually, they really work for our spiritual good because that gives you total satisfaction, isn't it? Mostly people try to do material good, but it doesn't work out. But spiritual good includes material good. The sages therefore inquired absolute good. Okay? The summary of all the living scriptures. What is ascertain absolute and ultimate good for the people in general is an easily understandable way. What is the ultimate good for the people in general? The answer will come. The first 2 questions, the answer is 1, 2, 6 to 1 to 29. Yes. Basically, main thing, bhakti. Bhakti is the ultimate good for people. If you can give bhakti to somebody, you have done everything. And so this is being explained. Okay. Shlokas will come in the next chapter. And Prabhupada said this is an acharya. They're always thinking of good of people. And their face is the index of the mind. The face also becomes pleasant. Their face is so goodness. And when some person is always thinking of exploiting other people and torturing them for his happiness, by nature, just like see, if something is very bad, it stinks when you try to eat, isn't it? The face also becomes like action. When you go there, you get scared, isn't it? You have seen the people are murderers, all these dangerous people. The face also becomes dangerous. They say people who do some bad things, their face becomes pale and dangerous. Look, you get afraid. By nature's way, it has been created. Acharyas and Goswamis are always absorbed in the thought of well-being of the people and always thinking well of them. And therefore, it is said if you cannot do anything, you should just go and sit in front of the deities. Because deities are the highest, always thinking about your good. Sit in front of them, what to do for them. So you get blessed. But if you cannot do anything, just sit in front of the deities. You get blessed. Okay. Chalo. Continue. Kamalesh. Oh, learned, in this age of Kali, men have but short life, they are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed.
The devotees of the Lord are always anxious for the spiritual improvement of the general public. When the sages of Naimisharanya analyzed the state of affairs of the people in this age of Kali, they foresaw that men would live short lives. In Kali Yuga, the duration of life is shortened, not so much because of insufficient food, but because of irregular habits. By keeping regular habits and eating simple food, any man can maintain his health. Overeating, over-sense gratification, over-dependence on another's mercy, and artificial standards of living sap the very vitality of the human energy. Therefore, the duration of life is shortened.
Okay, this is very nice, the shloka. Prayana alpa ayusha sabya. The Prabhupada is not commenting on the life. Life is short in Kali Yuga. Prabhupada says the reason is more because of not because of insufficient food, because of irregular habits. Just even scientists agree, doctors agree. Most of diseases are lifestyle diseases now. Wrong habits, wrong lifestyle. It's not because of shortage of food people are dying. People are dying because of so many reasons. Okay? And nobody is focusing on that. They're only focusing on food, which is at least in Mangalore that is not an issue. Issue is lifestyle problem. And then what are the problems? Not undereating, overeating. Mangalore, nobody is dying because of starvation. They are dying because of overeating. Over sense gratification. Isn't it, Mataji, in England also?
Yes, Prabhuji.
People are not starvation. They are dying of overeating.
Yeah.
Over sense gratification. They are dying because of, there was one person who was gaming. And he was playing game for 3 days continuous, 72 hours, and he died on that spot. And the doctors came, police came, picked him up and went. Other people are still playing game. Can you just imagine? They should have said, throw this, somebody died. Mar gaya aadmi, khelte mar gaya. Because the body and mind are the limitation, over-exert will collapse. Over-sense gratification, over-dependence on others' mercy. Then also you have no dignified life. You should have, by your own means, we should live. Artificial standard of living, that's just for show, sap the very vitality of the human energy, and finished. Therefore, the duration of life is shortened. So nice, no? Life is not shortened because Prabhupada immediately as an acharya commenting, life is not short because of food. Life is short because of overeating, over-sense gratification, over-dependence on others' mercy, and artificial standard of living. Yes.
The people of this age are also very lazy, not only materially, but in the matter of self-realization. The human life is especially meant for self-realization. That is to say, man should come to know what he is, and what the world is, and what the supreme truth is. Human life is a means by which the living entity can end all the miseries of the hard struggle for life in the material existence, and by which he can return to Godhead, his eternal home. But due to a bad system of education, men have no desire for self-realization. Even if they come to know about it, they unfortunately become victims of misguided teachers.
Okay, very, very nice, important points. Okay, not only lazy, first thing they are, what is the first point? Their life is Prayana Alpayusha Sabya Kalausma Yugaja Manda, very lazy. Manda, dull, lazy. Okay? Materially, but Prabhupada said they're also lazy, not only materially, but they are also Very lazy in matter of self-realization. Cinema hall में लेट मूवी आया वहाँ बाहर खड़े हो जाएंगे 2 घंटा के लाइन में, ठीक है ना? But spiritually they are not interested, ठीक है? And Prabhupada is commenting this because of bad system of education, men have no desire for self-realization, correct? In education, they never talk about self-realization. The purpose is the bad system of education. Because so if they come to know about it, they're unfortunate. And if they come to know interested in spiritual life, they get cheated. And now people are there to cheat. Something nonsense, they will get started. Yes, continue, Kamlesh.
In this age, men are victims not only of different political creeds and parties, but also of many different types of sense gratificatory diversions, such as cinemas, sports, gambling, clubs, mundane libraries, bad association, smoking, drinking, cheating, pilferaging, bickerings, and so on. Their minds are always disturbed and full of anxieties due to so many different engagements. In this age, many unscrupulous men manufacture their own religious faiths, which are not based on any revealed scriptures. And very often people are addicted to sense gratification, are attracted by such institutions. Consequently, in the name of religion, so many sinful acts are being carried out that the people in general have neither peace of mind nor health of body. The student, brahmachari communities are no longer being maintained. The householders do not observe the rules and regulations of grihastha. Consequently, the so-called vanaprasthas and sannyasis who come out of such grihastha are easily deviated from the rigid path. In the Kali Yuga, the whole atmosphere is surcharged with faithlessness. Men are no longer interested in spiritual values. Material sense gratification is now the standard of civilization. For the maintenance of such material civilizations, man has formed complex nations and communities. And there is a constant strain of hot and cold wars between these different groups. It has become very difficult, therefore, to raise the spiritual standard due to the present distorted values of human society. The sages of Naimisharanya are anxious to disentangle all fallen souls. And here they are seeking the remedy from Srila Sutta Goswami.
See, this is very nice. Prayana Alpayusha Sabhya. The first thing that's explained was Ayu is less. Proper Ayu is less not because food is less, mainly because of irregular habits. And doctor is certifying. It is correct. It's lifestyle diseases mainly. Now, second thing is coming is they're not only lazy, they are secondly very lazy. Okay? And proper compounded a bad system of education. They have no desire, and if they desire, people to cheat them. Third thing came. The victims of different political creeds and parties and many different diversions. What are they? Cinemas, sports, gambling. You open on mobile, you go to Facebook, you enter itself, the videos start. Without your pressing start, auto runs. You can't take your eyes off. So well those videos are designed. It's so much attractive. It's taking your mind away from Krishna. Correct? You should think about Krishna. But instead of chanting Hare Krishna, so gambling, clubs, Mataji is laughing, bad association. So there are so many distractions in Kali Yuga, therefore it is a very dangerous place.
Nowadays, most housewives, they have smartphones. And they spend at least 1 to 2 hours on WhatsApp. And this becomes
only that much?
I'm saying minimum.
I heard 5 hours.
I mean, it can go to 8 hours. I mean, WhatsApp is taking so much time.
Even in hospitals, the nurse will be watching your
Everyone.
mobile.
No.
What happens, Mataji? They are also same in England also. What's the situation?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Somebody was telling in India, the Jio has introduced very cheap rates of data. They said, I was going in train, that man is saying the Jio has destroyed India. Nobody is working now. All are on their mobile only. Data is free now almost.
Yeah, wherever you go.
Data rates are cheapest in India, Mataji now. For 150 is unlimited. 150 rupees unlimited. For good speed. All society is watching mobile only.
They're watching mobile.
Nobody is studying.
Wherever you go.
Nobody is doing any work.
And they hate work.
They hate work.
And the moment they are disconnected from internet, they just can't stand it. They have to have Wi-Fi or
If you disconnect internet, people will commit suicide easily.
Yeah, they have become so addicted. Yeah.
Addicted. So that's why this Prabhupada, what he saw is writing. Now more I've added to the list. At that time he has seen cinema. He doesn't know this. People will have internet and they will cinema, sport,
Yeah.
gambling, class. What he saw, he wrote all this. And so on. He has said so on. You can add it. So on. He knows they'll bring more. This Kaliga people will add so many nice distractions. Actually, how to forget Krishna? That is going on. Not how to.
Yes.
How to forget. More and more ways they are creating. How to actually, people have become tools in the hand of Maya to drag everybody away from Krishna. How to drag slaves.
They talk about civilization. They talk that they are civilized. The one who use all this.
Prabhupada was in Vrindavan, I tell so many times, and Vrindavan is the most holiest place in India. And Prabhupada saw the people hearing cricket commentary on a transistor. Those days were only, radio, and there were no TV those days, 70s. I remember in my college, we also used to have a small, you have to remember? Well, I'm not the oldest person here. So, Mataji, radio hota tha. You remember, Mataji, our school days, we had a radio to hear.
Yes.
No TV.
Yes, Prabhuji.
No TV.
No TV, yeah.
Only the radio. And what an excitement the radio used to be. Okay? So Prabhupada saw them hearing cricket commentary news. Prabhupada says this radio is the laughter of Maya. And imagine today if he sees internet and mobiles and what Prabhupada says. Totally, it's actually a trap to take your mind away from Krishna. So when you read Bhagavatam and all, therefore, congregational reading what works out. Many people are not able to sit and read for hours, like the way we
Yes.
read. Okay? Because we need to be protected. Like our time, I tell you, we used to sit and study. We had no tuitions. You remember? There was no need of tuition. None of us had tuitions. Tuition used to be a shame on our time. Isn't it?
Yes, Prabhuji.
What happened? I was studying in government college, so I had no English. So when I went to private schools in Delhi, I was struggling in English. So I know it was. I had an English teacher coming to my home. I used to be ashamed to tell anybody I have an English teacher. It's a shame. Today, the people cannot study without a coaching. Means all distractions are forcefully removed. On your own, you cannot study. The same way, let us also read Bhagavatam together. On our own, okay, if you have developed taste, you will be able to. But at least it is ensured that anyway, it's a Purushottam Mass. Together we read Bhagavatam now, We could not think of it. The association helps. Alone you are there, many of us would not have read. Oh, yeah, let us so kya ho the chief minister gaya kuch karo. Some people have, the BJP, many people who are, even all ISKCON people who voted for BJP, it has lost now. So people are feeling very sad. So mind goes to all the direction. Actually, all are useless. Prabhupada used to say, why do you say one set of rascals is better than another set of rascals? All are rascals. Yeah. But somehow we become unnecessarily attractive and then we get disturbed. So Prabhupada is saying, save yourself from all that and hear Bhagavatam. Things will go on. Prabhupada said in one statement I read, things will go on, don't worry. Very often people are addicted to sense gratification, attracted by such institutions. In spiritual organizations, they come to ISKCON, we say, don't smoke, don't drink, don't watch movies, don't do all these things. And people run away. What do I do then? Actually, same situation has come. What happened in America? Prabhupada landed in America. He said, don't smoke, don't drink, don't do illicit sex. You know what they told Prabhupada? Then what do we do? So similarly, I tell you recently, it has happened recently. I was in a college on Friday night. And there was a medical student. I said, you should not smoke, you should not drink, you should not watch movies, you should not watch IPL. Then he said, what do we do then? They asked him this question. Ye sab band karenge to karegi kya phir? This has become a joke actually. The fact is, these are all distractions. And if they get taste, raso, people the Bhagavata rasam alayam, we have to make them fortunate that let the Bhagavata rasa go inside their ears, then they will forget everything. The name of religion, so many, even in name of religion, sinful activities are happening. There is one organization called Chicken Mission in Calcutta. Everybody eats chicken there. Poultry is there inside the spiritual organization. Kali Yuga, the whole atmosphere is charged with faithlessness. Because of so much cheating, there is so much faithlessness. In fact, at my time also, when the ISKCON Swamis came, I thought some other bogus set of people has come. But when I saw them, I had, my God, even Srila Prabhupada said, seen so much bogus people that when Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada was presented to him, he thought only another bogus man. He didn't. He refused to go. Then his friend Narendra Malik dragged him. But when he heard Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada, it's genuine. is so rare that there is total faithlessness. Isn't it, Mataji? Yeah, total faithlessness is now in this material sense gratification now the standard. That's the standard of civilization. See, he's doing like this. That's the standard. That's the bar. If you can enjoy yourself, that's the standard. And Prabhupada is then adding for maintenance such a material civilization, so many complex nations and communities and the constant hot and cold war, and we are absorbed and all that thing. The sages in Amishan are very anxious to disentangle all fallen souls, and here they're seeking the remedy from Sutra. So that till now they ask what question? One question. What is the question? What is the ultimate good for all the humanity? Okay? Very, very important question. Now next verse and next is they're asking second and third question. Who wants to read? You can read clearly. Come near. Come near. Rajesh, you're with us, or you're having a lunch?
No, Prabhu, I'm here.
You don't know. Chalo.
Atma or self is distinguished from
No. There are many. Okay, I'm sorry, I have not read. There are many varieties of scriptures, and in all of them, there are many prescribed duties which can be learned only after many years of study in the various divisions. Therefore, O sage, please select the essence of all scripture and explain it for the good of the living being. By that instruction, their hearts may be fully satisfied. What a question, huh? Chalo, read loudly.
Atma or self is distinguished from matter and material elements. It is spiritual in constitution, and thus it is never satisfied by any amount of material planning. All scriptures and spiritual instructions are meant for the satisfaction of this self or Atma. There are many varieties of approaches which are recommended for different types of living beings in different times at different places. Consequently, the numbers of revealed scriptures are innumerable. There are different methods and prescribed duties recommended in these various scriptures. Taking into consideration the fallen conditions of the people in general, in the age of Kali, the sages of Naimisharanya suggested that Sri Suta Goswami relate the essence of all such scriptures because in this age it is not possible for the fallen souls to understand and undergo all the lessons of all these various scriptures in a Varna and Ashrama system. The Varna and Ashrama society was considered to be the best institution for lifting the human being to a spiritual platform. But due to Kali Yuga, it is not possible to execute the rules and regulations of these institutions, nor is it possible for the people in general to completely sever relations with their families as the Varnashrama institution prescribes. The whole atmosphere is surcharged with opposition, and considering this, one can see the spiritual emancipation for the common man in this age is very difficult. The reason the sages presented this matter to Sri Suta Goswami is explained in the following verses.
Okay, now the question has come, the second question. Tell the essence of all the scriptures. And then Prabhupada says that why? Because the scriptures are actually meant for the emancipation of the soul, correct? Satisfaction of the soul. But different time, places, there are so many instructions. Like a medical shop. Now, there are thousands of medicine. Now, which medicine is needed today for the people, correct? General, some medicine for the society. Give it the Sara essence. Okay, that answer will also come between the same question, 1.2.6 to 29. Devotion service is the essence of all the scriptures. The devotion service is also the ultimate good for society and also the essence of all the scripture. Answer is 1.2.6 to 1.2.29. Okay, and then the Suta Goswami relate the essence. It is not possible for them to understand all the Shastra. There is no time to read. Even to read Bhagavatam, one book, we will take 100 years. How are you going to read everything? Varnashrama is considered the best institution, but Prabhupada said impossible to implement it today. Take care, and neither people can, as a Varnashrama, there is Vanaprasanyasa, is almost impossible to follow. Take care. The whole atmosphere is such as opposition. Considering this, for the people in general, age is very difficult, spiritual emancipation. So the following verses. Okay. The 12th will have the third question now coming up. All blessing unto you, O Suta Goswami. You know for what purpose the personality Godhead appeared in the womb of Devaki as the son of Vasudeva. So this is the 1.1.12 is the third question, the Lord's appearance. The Lord appearance, there will be actually 3 shlokas which talk about this. But there is question 3 is about Krishna's appearance, and yeah, who's going to read?
Bhagavan means the Almighty God who is the controller of all opulence, power, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. He is the protector of his pure devotees. Although God is equally disposed to everyone, he is especially inclined to his devotees. Sat means the absolute truth. The persons who are servitors of the absolute truth are called Sattvatas, and the personality of Godhead who protects such pure devotees is known as the protector of Sattvatas, Bhadram Te, or blessings upon you. Indicates the sage's anxiety to know the absolute truth from the speaker. Lord Sri Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead, appeared to Devaki, the wife of Vasudeva. Vasudeva is the symbol of transcendental position wherein the appearance of the Supreme Lord takes place.
Okay, so what are the 3 questions now? Prabhu Mataji? Yes, Prabhu Mataji. What are the 3 questions till now? The first question, what is
good for
Humanity.
What is good for everybody? Ultimate good for everybody. That was in the shloka 1.1.9. 9 shloka, that was the first question came. What is ultimate good for everybody? What is the second question?
What is the gist?
Essence of all the scripture that is came in 1.1.11. 11 shloka that came. Now in the 12th shloka, it came, why did Krishna appear? Why did Krishna appear? Not even talking about other incarnations, that will come other. Appearance of the Lord and Purusha and Leela Avatara, there are 3 questions relating to the appearance of the Lord. Okay? So this is very nice. It says for what purpose? And there was one line, you see, Bhagavan Satvatam Patihi. The bhaktas are called Satvatas and Pati. The Pati means a protector. Protector. Bhagavan is a protector of the devotees. Because Sat means absolute truth, and those who study Sat means Satvata. And Krishna is the protector of the Satvata. Bhagavan Satvata Patihi. So why did Krishna appear? And then the last point is Bhadram Te. Always wishing well. Bhadram, auspicious. There's so much attached, they're so eager to hear. Actually, the blessing is not right. So that's natural. And the last point is one more point, Vasudeva. Vasudeva is the platform also, not only the father's name. Krishna resides in not in Tamoguna, not in Rajoguna, not in Sattva. Vasudeva stage. What is Vasudeva stage? It is, we may have the Sattva now. We are feeling free from material desires. We are sattvic now. But then within 5 minutes, it becomes agitated by Rajoguna or Tamoguna. The third year of self-gratification pollutes our Sattva. Correct? That's what happens. When it comes out of bath, it's Sattva only. Within 5 minutes, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, another. So there is a competition going on between 3 more stage classes. But Vasudeva stages, Rajoguna, Tamoguna stop interfering. You are constant sattvic. On that stage, Krishna's spiritual platform can enter. So that's called Shuddha Sattva. Vasudeva stage is also not Shuddha Sattva. So Krishna is born only in Shuddha Sattva. So if you want to know Krishna, you have to Shuddha. Basically, wood has to be totally dry to burn. So heart has to totally dry from material desires to burn in spiritual fire. That is Vasudeva stage. Vasudeva is symbol of transcendental position wherein the appearance of Supreme Lord takes place. Okay, so what are the 3 questions till now? Rajesh? What are 3 questions? 3 questions. Yes, Rajesh.
Hare Krishna.
What are the 3 questions? 3 questions.
3 questions. 3 more questions which are going to come, Prabhu. Is that what you're...
Over. What are the 3 questions over?
One is, Prabhu,
Question number 1 in Shloka 9. What is the ultimate good for humanity?
Correct.
Go to Shloka 11. What is the second question?
I don't have the book in front of me, Prabhu. That's the problem.
So I'll show you. What is this? Question Shloka 11. You see, what is the question? Essence of all the scriptures. Okay?
Yes.
There is no time to read all the books. Tell the notes. Give notes. A student फिर टीचर के पास जाते हैं engineering में particularly. Sir, notes दे दो sir, notes. Even teacher doesn't study textbook. He gets notes from. They go to Bangalore to buy notes. Even teachers. Forget about textbooks. Even teachers don't study notes. And then, so they're also asking notes. For the notes दे दो. And third thing, why did Krishna appear? Particularly now Krishna. Then after 2 questions are coming about Purushavatara and Leela Avatara. So there are 3 questions concerning the Lord's appearance. These notes are there actually. These are also notes you can see. Okay, the question 13th. 13th now will be some little 13th verse is eagerness to hear. They're very eager to hear. Okay. Oh, Suta Goswami, we are eager to learn about the personality, Godhead, and His incarnation. Please explain to us those teachings imparted by previous acharyas, for one is uplifted both by speaking them and hearing them. We will get somebody chance. Prabhuji, you like to read?
O Suta Goswami, we are eager to learn about the personality of Godhead and His incarnations. Please explain to us those teachings imparted by previous masters or acharyas, for one who is uplifted both by speaking them and by hearing them. The conditions for hearing the transcendental message of the absolute truth are set forth herein. The first condition is that the audience must be very sincere and eager to hear, and the speaker must be in the line of disciplic succession from the recognized acharya. The transcendental message of the absolute is not understandable by those who are materially absorbed. Under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master, one becomes gradually purified. Therefore, one must be in the chain of disciplic succession and learn the spiritual art of submissive hearing. In the case of Suta Goswami and the sages of Naimisharanya, all these conditions are fulfilled because Srila Suta Goswami is in the line of Srila Vyasadeva, and the sages of Naimisharanya are all sincere souls who are anxious to learn the truth. Thus, the transcendental topics of Lord Sri Krishna's superhuman activities, his incarnation, his birth, appearance or disappearance, his forms, his names, and so on are all easily understandable because all requirements are fulfilled. Such discourses help all men on the path of spiritual realization.
Now there are very, very, very important things there. Most important thing, learn the spiritual art of submissive hearing. It's an art. It's just like you have a key. When you have a key, you can open a lock. So just because you're Bhagavatam, you cannot relish it. You have to know the key. You have to enter it in a submissive, just like you're chanting the holy name. When you chant the holy name, a submissive attitude with respect, the holy name becomes nectar. So similarly, the purports of Bhagavatam become nectar when you know the art of submissive hearing. It's the art. Sevon Mukha, just like even deities. Many people go to the deity service spirit, looks like the Lord is personally present, correct? You can smell the aroma offered to the Lord, Hannah. Everything looks ecstatic. But there is a way, submissive. Sevon Mukhe Jivado Swayameva Spuriti Yadaha. When we approach the Lord in a service spirit, the Lord is revealed. Because there is an art of submissive hearing. Very nice. Prabhupada is using the word. It's like every word is like jewel. You know what he's saying? The art of submissive hearing, the spiritual art, it's an art. It's just like, the art of making samosa. You have to know that technique. And transcendental message is not understood. Those who are materially absorbed. Forget who became chief minister. Then you cannot understand Bhagavatam. Who is materially? I'm playing with everybody. Who is materially absorbed? Don't be absorbed materially. Sab kuch banega. Don't be materially absorbed. Anyway, they were ruling before. Nothing happened. We were reading Bhagavad, continue to read. People are thinking word has ended. Those are mentally absorbed. Don't be mentally absorbed. You can hear Srila Bhagavad with great pleasure. Yes, Rajesh, isn't it true? Huh?
It's true, Prabhu.
Don't be mentally absorbed. Then you cannot hear. Doesn't matter who became chief minister.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, audience must be very sincere and eager to hear, and the speaker should be in the line of Guru Parampara. But still, the speaker will be speaking. If you're mentally absorbed, you cannot absorb it. You cannot be take benefit of that. In the chain of disciplic succession, and we know the art of submissive hearing. So read these books with great respect. Prabhupada said, therefore, in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita is a great mystery. And unless you at least theoretically accept Krishna as the Supreme Lord, you cannot enjoy Bhagavad Gita. It's a transcendental book. It's a pleasure. When you approach Bhagavad Gita with the at least proper theoretical faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you will not be able to open the key. Just like Bhagavad Gita, the 9th chapter says most confidential knowledge. What is confidential? You can read it, no? But when you go in a submissive spirit, Krishna opens. See, just like somebody comes to you, you are a person. In a proper mood, you'll open yourself out to him, correct? So it all need, because you are approaching a person. The whole spiritual knowledge is also a person. Holy name is also a person. Prasadam is also a person. When you take the service spirit, many people say to get more blessings of prasadam, eat lot of prasadam. Eat little prasadam with respect. Isn't it, Mataji? We should eat with more respect, not more prasadam.
Yes, Prabhuji.
But they say mercy, mercy of Krishna, mercy of Krishna. They keep eating. Hello. So now, living beings were entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death can be freed immediately by even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna. Is feared by fear personified. Look at the here are the sages. They're also not ordinary who are speaking. Look at so much knowledge they have. Holy name is so auspicious. Even unconsciously chanting, you're immediately freed from all the troubles. Yes, Prabhuji, read.
Vasudeva, or Lord Krishna, the absolute personality of Godhead, is the supreme controller of everything. There is no one in creation who is not afraid of the range of the Almighty. Great asuras like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, and others who are very powerful living entities were all killed by the personality of Godhead. And the Almighty Vasudeva has empowered his name with the powers of his personal self. Everything is related to him, and everything has its identity in him. It is stated herein that the name of Sri Krishna is feared even by fear personified. This indicates that the name of Sri Krishna is not different from Krishna. Therefore, the name of Krishna is as powerful as Lord Krishna himself. There is no difference at all. Anyone, therefore, can take advantage of the holy names of Lord Sri Krishna even in the midst of greatest dangers. The transcendental name of Krishna, even though uttered unconsciously or by force of circumstances, can help one obtain freedom from the hurdle of birth and death.
So we'll chant Hare Krishna mantra once together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Imagine the soul gets
Hare Krishna.
At least today we should chant nicely. Okay, there is no creation is not afraid of the rage. Yeah, actually, Devata, as it is said, they're doing the duty. They know if they do garbad, they'll be punished. And there is Yas Chakshuresh Savita Sakala Grahanam Raja Samasta Shudamurti Rashesha Cheshvija Yasagneya Brahmati Sambrata Kalach. They know they are moving by the orders of the Lord. Sun, moon, everything is moving by the order of the Lord. They cannot disobey the Lord. We are the only creature that is Devata never disobey the Lord. We are the only one. No one in creation is not afraid, actually. And the Almighty was empowered by his powers of the Supreme Person of Himself. And empowered his name. Nam Nam Akari Bhuda Nija Sarva Shakti. Krishna has given. You know the Shashtaka? Given all his powers. Okay? It is stated and in the name of Krishna is feared even by the He appeared Viveti. Feared by the fear personified. This is all translation of lines. This indicates that the name of Krishna is non-different from Krishna. Avinattam Nama Amina. There is no difference. Okay, so Krishna's name is very powerful. And next is the word association. O Suta, those great sages who have completely taken shelter the lotus feet of the Lord can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them, whereas water of the Ganges can sanctify it only after prolonged use. But then you like to read? Okay, you read.
Continue. Pure devotees of the Lord are more powerful than the waters of the sacred river Ganges. one can derive spiritual benefit out of prolonged use of the Ganges waters, but one can be sanctified at once by the mercy of a pure devotee of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that any person, regardless of birth, as Shudra, woman, or merchant, can take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, and by so doing can return to Godhead. To take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord means to take shelter of the pure devotees. The pure devotees whose only business is serving are honored by the names of Prabhupada and Vishnupada, which indicate such devotees to be representatives of the lotus feet of the Lord. Anyone, therefore, who takes shelter of the lotus feet of a pure devotee by accepting the pure devotee as a spiritual master can at once purified. Such devotees of the Lord are honored equally with the Lord because they are engaged in the most confidential service of the Lord. For they deliver out of the material world the fallen souls whom the Lord wants to return home, back to Godhead. Such pure devotees are better known as wise lords according to revealed scriptures. The sincere disciple of the pure devotee considers the spiritual master equal to the Lord, but always considers himself to be a humble servant of the Lord. This is the pure devotional path.
Okay, so now the point was that the power of the pure devotee association, the mercy you get by taking bath in Ganges, definitely, but it takes time. Pure devotee can work. Lavamatra sadhu sangha sarvasiddhi, by a movement, association with the pure devotee, you can change. So that's very powerful. So we taking shelter of Prabhupada now by reading his books. Movement association. One line can change your life. But it should be proper submissive spirit. And somebody asked Prabhupada, how does it act? Prabhupada said, no, you should also have the receptiveness. It's like one terabyte can be downloaded in a second. Depending the download speed depends upon your submissiveness. You're very submissive, one movement, you can have realization of Krishna. Navamatra sadhu sangha sarvasiddhi hoy. Are more powerful than the waters of the sacred river Ganges. This is compared. In fact, it is said the river Ganges went to the Lord and prayed, what will happen to me? Because Kali Yuga means people will come and throw their papa on me. When you go to the holy Dhama, you leave their papa there. So he said, no, don't worry. Great Nam Upasaka will come. That is the prediction. We have various predictions for this movement. And then this is one more prediction. Brahma Vaivarta Purana. That 5,000 years you have to wait, a great Nam Upasaka will come. And he will, when he comes with his followers, he'll purify your papa. This is it. It doesn't say 500, it doesn't say 4,500 years. That is Lord Chaitanya coming. Take a 5,000 years. So anyway, Nam Upasaka. It actually refers to Prabhupada, Nam Upasaka. There's different references we have been searching. That is one reference we have. Other reference we have is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after he pushed the movement all around the world, in India, he was asked, what about rest of the world? Say, I'm sending my Senapati, who will do it? That is second prediction we have for Prabhupada, from Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada, so from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Advaita Acharya said, one person will come in this world and who will walk all around the world without any hindrance and preach vigorously Krishna consciousness. That is third prediction we have. Then fourth prediction is Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada. He said, it will happen very soon, but not in my life. And indication, he said many times, Prabhupada, he will do it alone. Everything he will do alone. Many times they asked Prabhupada, said that the Godmother said, make him the president of one of our centers. Prabhupada, leave him alone. He will do everything at the right time. That's all very good. We have some kind of indications towards. So the Prabhupada used the word himself humbly, Prabhupada and Vishnupada. That's the name used for such acharyas. Okay? Since it is a pure devotee, consider the spiritual master equal to the Lord, but always consider himself a humble servant to the servant of the. He doesn't consider himself special. Okay, so this was association. One more comes. Who is there desiring deliverance of the vice of the age of Chiral, who is not willing to hear the virtuous glories of the Lord? Who is the fool who will not hear the virtuous glories of the Lord? Now, who wants to read? You want to read?
The age of Kali is the most condemned age due to its quarrelsome futures. Kali Yuga is so saturated with righteous habit that there is a great fight at the slightest misunderstanding. Those who are engaged in the pure devotional service of the Lord, who are without any desire for self aggrandizement and who are freed from the effect of the fruitive action and dry philosophical speculation, are capable of getting out of the estrangement of this complicated age. The leaders of the people are very much anxious to live in peace and friendship, but they have no information of the simple method of hearing the glories of the Lord. On the contrary, such leaders are opposed to the propagation of the glories of the Lord. In other words, the foolish leaders want to completely deny the existence of the Lord. In the name of the secular state, such leaders are enacting various plans every year, but by the insurmountable intractice of the material nature of the Lord, all these plans for the progress are being constantly frustrated. They have no eyes to see that their attempts at peace and friendship are failing. But here is the hint to get over the hurdle. If we want actual peace, we must open the road to understanding of the Supreme Lord Krishna and glorify Him for His virtuous activities as they are depicted in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam.
You want peace? Hear Bhagavatam. But no leaders know. That's this proper the secret. Nobody knows. Yes. Now the next question, the fourth question. His transcendental acts of magnificent creation, the great learned sages like Narada sing of them. Please, they must speak to us who are eager to hear about the adventures that performs in his various incarnations. 1:117. Yes. Who's going to read the purport now?
The personality of Godhead is never inactive, as some less intelligent persons suggest. His works are magnificent and magnanimous. His creations, both material and spiritual, are all wonderful and contain all variegatedness. They are described nicely by such liberated souls as Srila Narada, Vyasa, Valmiki, Devala, Asita, Madhava, Sri Chaitanya, Ramanuja, Vishnu Swami, Nimbarka, Sridhara, Vishwanatha, Baladeva, Bhakti Vinoda, Siddhanta Saraswati, and many other learned and self-realized souls. These creations, both material and spiritual, are full of opulence, beauty, and knowledge, but the spiritual realm is more significant due to its being full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. The material creations are manifested for some time as perverted shadows of the spiritual kingdom and can be linked to cinemas. They attract people of less intelligent caliber who are attracted by the false things. Such foolish men have no information of the reality and they take it for granted that the false material manifestation is the all in all. But more intelligent men, guided by sages like Vyasa and Narada, know that the eternal kingdom of God is more delightful, larger, and eternally full of bliss and knowledge. Those who are not conversant with the activities of the Lord and his transcendental realm are sometimes favored by the Lord in his adventures as incarnations wherein he displays the eternal bliss of his association in the transcendental realm. By such activities, he attracts the conditioned souls of the material world. Some of these conditioned souls are engaged in the false enjoyment of material senses and others in simply negating their real life in the spiritual world. These less intelligent persons are known as karmis or fruitive workers or jnanis, to dry mental speculators. But above these two classes of men is the transcendentalist known as Sattvata or the devotee, who is busy neither with rampant material activity nor with material speculation. He is engaged in the positive service of the Lord, and thereby he derives the highest spiritual benefit unknown to the karmis and jnanis. As the supreme controller of both the material and spiritual worlds, the Lord has different incarnations of unlimited categories. Incarnations like Brahma, Rudra, Manu, Prithu, and Vyasa are his material qualitative incarnations, but his incarnations like Rama, Narasimha, Varaha, and Vamana are his transcendental incarnations. Lord Shri Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnations, and he is therefore the cause of all causes.
Okay, now then the next one is also about incarnations, repetition. The Acharyas are broken into two parts. Jiva Goswami says the first one is referring to Purusha avatars, next one to the Leela avatars. Okay, because these narrative about incarnations has come two times. The first one is said we'll take it for Purusha avatars, that is also incarnation of the Lord, and the next is Leela avatar. Purusha avatar refers to what is the Purusha avatar referring to? Prabha Mataji?
Sorry, Sir Prabhuji?
Purusha avatars. What are the Purusha avatars? We have three Purusha avatars. Mahavishnu, and then Shri Vishnu, then
Kshirodakai Vishnu. Yeah,
Paramatma. So this is what the 17th one refers to. They are different incarnations. And you say material creation are manifested sometime and go back. That's an important point. A false material manifestation, people think is all in all, but after hearing to Vedavyasa and the great Acharyas, we understand the kingdom of God is more delightful, larger, but people have no information about it. We want to go there. Okay, Prabhupada said actually no messenger has ever said stay here. Everybody, even Jesus says kingdom of God. This word, somebody plans to stay, settle down here, only fool's paradise, it's a temporary place. Eternal bliss with the association with the transcendental realm. Yeah, so some people are enjoying the false enjoyment, and some people just negating the material enjoyment. Both are useless, karmis and gyanis. Let us go to the bhaktas who talk about the transcendental realm. You know? See, karmis try to enjoy this world. Gyanis want to give up enjoyment in this world. But only devotees want to go to kingdom of God and serve. There are karmis, gyanis, and bhaktas. Bhaktas are in the best position. Who is busy neither in rampant mental activity nor with mental speculation. Gyani general mental speculation. Oh, this world is useless. क्या रखा है दुनिया में? फिलॉसफी क्या है पढ़ाई? तो स्टूडेंट मजा कर रहा है. तो स्टूडेंट क्या रखा है? क्या बताओ? At the end, they just drink. Okay, so this is the next question. Oh, wise Suta, please narrate to us a transcendental pastime, supreme personality Godhead, multi-incarnation, such auspicious adventures and pastimes of the Lord, the supreme controller. This is Leela. See, the word Leela is in the third line. Leela. The supreme controller performed by his internal powers. Yes, who is going to read? Yes, Mataji.
For the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the material worlds, the Supreme Lord Personality of Godhead Himself appears in many thousands of forms of incarnations, and the specific adventures found in those transcendental forms of all auspicious. Both those who are present during such activities and those who hear the transcendental narrations of such activities are benefited.
Okay, question 5 over. Leela Avatara, only one question remaining now. Okay, this is clear, very simple. Please narrate to us. He said, we want to know about the Leela Avatara. This is the Leela Avataras. The previous one, Acharya said, refers to the Purusha Avatara. Because they go to each work and they make the Jiva Goswami, who's the great Acharya. This is the Purusha Avatara. So one is the variety we have taken. And this one, next one is about this Leela Avatara. So Purusha Avatara, Leela Avatara. Leela Avatara is the Lord's pastime, wonderful pastime, Narasimha Leela, Ram Leela, Krishna Leela. So we want to hear about that. Okay? Adventures. Krishna does wonderful adventures. Like 3 steps, he covers the whole universe. 2 steps. Adventures, he does. Makes a bridge over ocean, lifts a mountain. Adventures of Lord. Then now there's a glorification again. We never tire of hearing the transcendental pastimes of Supreme Personality Godhead, who is glorified by Himself there. Those that develop a taste for transcendental relation with Him, relish hearing of His pastime at every moment. Prabhupada, you like to read?
Okay, Prabhuji, yes.
Yeah.
There is a great difference between mundane stories, fiction, or history and the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. The histories of the whole universe contains references to the pastimes of the incarnations of the Lord. The Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and the Puranas are histories of Hygone ages recorded in connection with the pastimes of the incarnations of the Lord and therefore remain fresh even after repeated readings. For example, anyone may read Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam repeatedly throughout his whole life and yet find in them new light of information. Mundane news is static, whereas transcendental news is dynamic. Um, in as much as the spirit is dynamic and matter is static, those who have developed a taste for understanding the transcendental subject matter are never tired of hearing such narrations. One is quickly sorry, Prabhuji,
Quickly
satiated.
satiated. Yeah.
Satiated by mundane activities, but no one is satiated by transcendental or devotional services. Uttama Shloka indicates that literature which is not meant for nuisances. Mundane literature is in the mode of darkness or ignorance, whereas transcendental literature is quite different. Transcendental literature is above the mode of darkness, and its light becomes more luminous with progressive reading and realization of the transcendental subject matter. The so-called liberated persons are never satisfied by the repetition of the word Aham Brahmasmi. Such artificial realization of Brahman becomes hackneyed, and so to relish real pleasure they turn to the narration of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Those who are not so fortunate turn to alt- altruism and worldly philanthropy. This
Yeah. This
this
means
means the Ma- this means the Mayavada philosophy is mundane, whereas the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental.
okay, so let us understand this. Professor, there is a difference between mundane stories and what we are reading. Bhagavata stories. Mundane news is static, satiated. Satiated is Mataji is become boring. Static, satiated, boring, mundane.
Okay.
And spiritual is
All
dynamic.
right.
Spirit is dynamic and matter is ecstatic. That's the difference. And mundane literature in the mode of darkness or ignorance, where the transcendent literature is quite different. Okay, transcendent literature is totally different. Okay, and then the so-called liberated person are never satisfied with the repetition of the word Brahmas. They never satisfied. Those Mayavadis, I am that. It's very boring. After what is that, they don't know. Cannot be described. You ask them what is that, not describable. It's very boring there. The proper say finally they come down to unfortunate to altruism and worldly philanthropy. That is everything for them. That even an atheist, even for an atheist, mundane welfare work is highest. But devotee knows that being there, even people are not happy. There are so many people have food to eat, good food to dress. Are they happy, including us? We are not happy. Why do we want to do something which will not work out? But therefore, highest thing is to give Krishna consciousness. Mayavada philosophy is mundane, philosophy Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam is transcendental. So this was Loka talking. This never tire of hearing. Okay. Sadhu sadhu pade pade. The main line in that line is for every step there is pleasure in hearing Bhagavatam. Pade pade. Every word there is pleasure. Lord Shri Krishna, the personality of God, and last three verses, we'll just finish chapter. Along with Balaram, played like a human being, has so mastered his performance. He performed many superhuman acts. Who is going to read? Anybody reads fast? You want to read fast? I'll read fast. I'll read fast. The doctrine of anthropomorphism and zoomorphism are never applicable to Sri Krishna, the personality God. The theory that a man becomes God by dint of penance and austerity is very much rampant nowadays, especially in India. So you understand, I'll explain also this. Anthropomorphism, zoomorphism, we think God in the forms we see. Okay? We see an animal, we think God is only the animal. It's not true. God's forms are eternal. Okay? And you don't become God by some tapasya. God is always God. Since Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were detected by the sages and saints with the personality goddess, as indicated in the revealed scripture, many unscriptural men have created their own incarnations. Correct? Krishna, Rama, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are God not because of somebody's imagination. It is given in the scripture, and great sages detected them. But after that, so many jokers have become God. This process of concocting incarnation of God has become an ordinary business, particularly, especially in Bengal. And Bengal, this is very popular. Recently, one person has said it come in all newspaper. He said he's a clerk. He said, I'm incarnation of Kalki. Why I should come to office? Yesterday it has come. Any popular personality, few traits of mystic power that display some feats of jugglery and easily become incarnation of God by popular vote. That's what is happening. But so many followers are going, how do you say he's not God? We get challenged like this. Who are you? Lord Krishna was not this kind of incarnation. Actually, the personality Godhead from the very beginning of his appearance. He appeared before the so-called mother as the four-armed Vishnu. Okay? That's it. Krishna appeared with Vishnu holding Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Then at the request of his mother, he became like a human child and at once led for another devotee at Gokula. Who is that? Yashoda. Where he was accepted as son of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata. Similarly, Shri Baladeva, the counterpart of Lord Shri Krishna, also considered a human child born another wife of Vasudeva. Who was that? Rohini. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that his birth and deeds are transcendental, and that anyone who is so fortunate as to know the transcendent name of the birth and deeds will at once become liberated and eligible to return to the kingdom of God. So knowledge of the transcendental nature of birth and deeds of Lord Shri Krishna is sufficient for liberation. In the Bhagavad, the transcendental nature of the Lord is described in 9 cantos, and at the 10th canto, specific pastimes are taken up. All this became so known as one's reading of this literature progresses. It is important to note here that the Lord exhibited his divinity even from the lap of his mother, and his deeds are all superhuman. He lived at Govardhan Hill at the age of 7. And all these acts definitely prove him to be actually the supreme personality Godhead. Yet, due to his mystic covering, he was always accepted as an ordinary human child by so-called father and mother and his other relatives. Correct? Even Nanda Maharaj Yashoda never, actually they know, but Krishna makes them forget because of Yoga Maya. And they remained satisfied with unflinchingly filial love for their son. And as such, the sages of Naimisharanya describe him as apparently resembling a human being, but actually the supreme personality, almighty personality of Godhead. So the word is Gudaha Kapata Manusaha. The last word, Guda, masked, Kapata Manusa, apparently like a human being. Okay, 21st. Knowing well the age of Kali has already begun, we are assembled here in the holy place to hear at great length the transcendent message of Godhead. In this way, perform sacrifice. Okay? So the age of Kali has begun, they come for a sacrifice. This age of Kali is not at all, note the word, not at all suitable for self-realization. Actually, it's very dangerous time for. Easily you can get distracted. As is Satyuga, the golden age, Treta, Dwapara Yuga, and other silver and copper ages. For self-realization, the people of Satyuga, they're living in the lifetime of 100,000 years, were able to perform prolonged meditation. Can't imagine, 1 lakh year life. And in the Treta Yuga, therefore 60,000 years of meditation by Valmiki, you can understand. The life was 1 lakh years. And in Treta Yuga, the duration life of 10,000 years, self-realization attained a performance of great sacrifices. Correct? Long duration of life. In Dwapara Yuga, when the duration of 1,000 years, self-realization was attained by worship of the Lord, but in Kali Yuga, the maximum duration life being 100 years only, and that is also commanded various difficulties. The recommended process of self-realization, hearing, chanting of the holy name, fame, pastimes of the Lord. You chanting the holy name and hearing Bhagavatam. That's recommended. This is a shloka actually. Krite adhyaya de Vishnu tiretaavya yachatomakai dwapare parichaya kaloda hari kirtana. Satyuga is meditation. Treta Yuga is yagna. Dwapara Yuga is archana. Kali Yuga is hari kirtana. So this is a recommendation of the scripture. Just like you get a medicine, you don't take medicine. You have to take medicine which is prescribed for the situation. The sages of Naimisharanya began this process in a place specially meant for the devotees of the Lord. They prepared themselves to hear the pastimes of the Lord over a period of 1,000 years. By the example of the sages, one could hear the regular hearing and the revelation of Bhagavatam is the only way for self-realization. Other attempts are simply a waste of time, for they do not give any tangible result. Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached the system of Bhagavad Dharma, and he recommended that all those who are born in India should take responsibility of broadcasting the message of Lord Shri Krishna, primarily the message of Bhagavad Gita. And when one is well versed in the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, he can take up the study of Srimad Bhagavatam for the enlightenment and self-realization. Okay? Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita introduction, Bhagavatam is next. We think that we have met your goodness, second last shloka, by the will of providence, so as we may accept you as the captain of the ship for those who desire to cross the difficult ocean of Kali, which deteriorates all the good qualities of human being. This is actually referring to Prabhupada. Very, very beautiful. By a good accident, we have met you. By the will of providence, and desire to cross a difficult age ocean of Kali, which deteriorates all the good qualities of human being. Yes, Rajesh, you like to read?
Yes, the age of Kali.
Yeah.
The age of Kali is very dangerous for the human being. Human life is meant for self-realization, but due to this dangerous age, men have completely forgotten the aim of life. In this age, the
lifespan
will gradually decrease. People will gradually lose their memory, finer sentiments, strength, and better qualities. A list of the anomalies for this age is given in the 12th canto of this work. And so, this age is very difficult for those who want to utilize this life for self realization. The people are so busy with sense gratification that they completely forget about self realization. Out of madness, they frankly say that there is no need for self realization because they do not realize that this brief life is but a moment on our great journey towards self realization. The whole system of education is geared to sense gratification. And if a learned man thinks it over, he sees that the children of this age are being intentionally sent to the slaughterhouses of so called education. Learned men, therefore, must be cautious of this age, and if they at all want to cross over the dangerous ocean of Kali, they must follow the footsteps of the sages of Naimi Saranya and accept Sri Sudha Goswami or his bona fide representative as the captain of the ship. The ship is the message of Lord Sri Krishna in the shape of Bhagavad Gita or the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Oh, nice. In fact, there is a very nice boat, and people. There is a. If I get a time, I'll show you the end. I'll show you the end. Anyway, so people are generally not interested. Look at the statement which I generally make in college: the slaughterhouses. Young people come with goodness. Actually, you see them in the first year. I saw you see them in PU. So sweet, they are just slaughtered. Within 6 months of their enter the college, they are into vices, and they lose their all nobility, everything. They become junkies. All how much care the parents train the child. They don't even allow vice in them. Correct? That so much love, care, and they can't do anything. And you can't do anything. He has to be sent out of the home, and he's Prabhupada says this college and institutions have become hubnet of sinful activities, not a place where you learn anything. पढ़ाई तो कोई नहीं करता, but you learn sinful life. They learn how to smoke, they learn how to drink, how to take drugs, everything they learn, except study. Now the last question of today. This is very nice. Generally, this meditate on Prabhupada. In many temples, I have seen Prabhupada murtis there. They write this board outside. We have met your goodness by the will of providence, just so that we accept you as the captain of the ship for those who desire to cross the difficult ocean of Kali, which deteriorates all good qualities of a human being. That's the meditation you can have. By good fortune, you met, and you're captain of our ship. So he's guiding us, he's leading us. He's the captain of our ship. Okay, the last of today. Since Lord Shri Krishna, the absolute truth, the master of the mystic power, has not departed for his own abode, please tell us to whom the religious princes are now gone for shelter. We read the shloka because Prabhupada actually makes the shloka in the beginning of this canto. Bruhi yego shara Krishna brahmane dharma vartmani swam kastham adunopete dharmakam saranam gatha. The answer of this actually is in each Bhagavatam canto, is select one verse and the best verse, which comes at the beginning of the book. This is the verse, answer to this, not this verse. Answer to this actually is the answer to this verse is actually very important. That is 1.7.12. 1 point, you see in the beginning. Okay, Mataji, Prabha Mataji, the last word. You read the last purport.
Yes, Prabhuji. Essentially, religion is the prescribed code enunciated by the personality of Godhead himself. Whenever there is gross misuse or neglect of the principles of religion, the Supreme Lord appears himself to restore religious principles. This is stated in Bhagavad Gita. Here is the sages of Naimisharanya are inquiring about these principles. The reply to this question is given later. The Srimad Bhagavatam is the transcendental sound representation of the personality of Godhead, and thus it is the full representation of transcendental knowledge and religious principles. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport of the first canto, first chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Questions by the Sages.
Okay, so Krishna says, I will dharma sansthapanartha, I re-establish, but he has gone away now. Where we go in Kali Yuga, where we come to know what is dharma? Srimad Bhagavatam. That Bhagavatam will come, that answers will come 1 to 7, 12. You have that answer? Anybody? What is the first? You have the Bhagavatam, first canto? 1, 7, 12. You can locate Krishna Sadhama Upagate. See, there. Krishna Swadhama Upagate. This also 1343 also answers this shloka. Shelter of all religion. Krishna Swadhama Upagate Dharma Jnana Devi Saha Kalau Nashta Drisham Esha Purano Ko Adunodita. 1343 is the answer of this. And Prabhupada keeps this. If you see the Bhagavatam book, Mataji, you have the book of Bhagavatam? In the first page.
Sorry, Prabhuji?
You have the Bhagavatam book?
Yeah.
So when you're in the first page, not first page, all glories to Guru and Gauranga, Srimad Bhagavatam Krishna Tapayana Vyasa, correct? When you open the book, the first page, you see the shloka is there, which is the answer to the shloka, the last shloka. Okay? Okay, I'm very, very happy. Okay, next time I have made a PowerPoint on this chapter. I'll show you a PowerPoint, so you'll revise. Okay, anyway, what are the 6 questions? What is the good for everyone? Yeah, number 2, essence of all the scriptures. Then, why did Krishna appear?
Yeah.
Purusha Avataras, Leela Avatar. 3 for Krishna's descent. And then last, where the dharma has gone now. Now Krishna has disappeared. Where is dharma? Where will it come to know? When Krishna was there, we can go and ask him, is it right or wrong? Now Krishna is not there. Who is going to tell? Bhagavata. Bhagavata is actually incarnation of God, which appeared in sound incarnation. So you hear Bhagavatam, it is giving you all the knowledge. Okay? The Srimad Bhagavatam, the transcendental sound representation of the personality Godhead, thus it is full of transcendental knowledge and relations. Okay, thanks everybody. It was great pleasure.
Thank you, Prabhuji.